And anyway, that's why I'm not allowed to eat Pringles.
You just ruined my fucking intro, James. Hello, everybody. This is Mike, also known as Win5 Get One Free, and we are here with Legacy of Stramdex, episode 4. So here's how we're going to set the scene. It's the next morning. You're all waking up in the Deep Woods Lodge. Hold for a couple of you. I think that, Seifel, you slept not at the Deep Woods Lodge, right?
I slept atop the flop house of Liar.
Okay, excellent.
On the roof. I was that cat in the middle of the night that won't shut up.
Yeah, I get you. So let's see here. We start in of course the Deep Woods Lodge. Maybe we open up with, say, like, who would be up first?
Well, I probably had to get up early just so that I could get to the Deep Woods Lodge. That and Seifel really didn't sleep much last night.
That's fair.
But he just comes in cat form. He flops on top of the counter and starts doing that thing where, like, he's cleaning the inside of one of his arms, and every now and then it looks like he's chewing on the third. Got to get the knots out.
I meant to hit mute.
But yeah, okay. So, maybe the bartender comes by and scratches you behind the ears, completely forgetting, or maybe not forgetting, that you are also a person and not just a cat. But yeah, at what point does Heracles wake up?
Alright, Heracles is still asleep.
Sorry, Wi-Fi dropped. I had to switch to another one. Heracles is probably not slept at all.
Ooh.
He doesn't like the way that things have been going.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
First, you end up getting one, like, bounty murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Then your next bounty disappears down the drain along with the person who hired you to find the bounty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not been a good couple days for him.
Yeah. Let's see here. Johan, about what time do you wake up?
Oh, as the sun rises. No, I wake up pretty early.
Okay.
I want to go downstairs and get breakfast. It's been a tough night. A little tough yesterday.
You know what? I'd like to say that probably everyone has woken up pretty early today. You see Grellin walk down the stairs looking like dog shit that's been eaten by a dog and shit out again. Just awful. He's got, like, dark rings under his eyes, and he's like, that wasn't a dream, was it? As he, like, slumps at the bar.
No, it wasn't. Always, Heracles pricks up at the sound of cats, turns around. Oh, it's only you. That's you anyways. He's not amused by the tricks that he once was.
Oh yeah. Grellin throws up his finger and the bartender cocks an eyebrow as he gets him, like, an ale, you know? So you all do have 75 extra platinum, though. That is a thing to keep considered.
Oh, fuck, I forgot to put that down.
Except for Johan, mainly because Johan... Well, no, Johan has it too. Then again, Johan doesn't really use much money.
How much is platinum worth in
It's in
gold?
gold. It's all base 10, and we're not using Electrum. Electrum is a dumb currency. I get why people have it and use it, but fuck Electrum. Let's be real.
Electrum is that thing that when you... Electrum's the thing that you get it in the dungeon, you're like, fuck.
I'll remember that the next time.
Electrum is the people
I'm going to be DM or something.
But call themselves middle class.
Yeah. You'll remember that the next time you DM?
DM you.
Oh god, you're just gonna give me all Electrum, aren't you?
Convert this into gold, bitch.
Yeah, and maybe we get like a close-up shot of the mint of the platinum, right? As Grelin kind of pulls it out and looks it over, and we get the image of the king stamped on the electrum coin, you know. And as he's kind of looking at it and sees the glint of it, we see the glint kind of lead to a screen flash that goes to an off-screen area, where like we kind of go to that office that we're used to seeing in these post-credit areas, where she's like, we have Dreamweaver. She's tapping her fingers on the desk again, and Ansip is standing there, and for once he's not actually looking like excited or happy. He looks nervous. And Dreamweaver's like, so, there was a reason behind this madness? Or were you just entertaining again? He goes, well, I figured that there might be a good cause to... Oh, a good cause to what? You know, if it wasn't for our code, I would already have disobeyed what you've said, but you've locked us into a bit of a situation. Have you moved the principal? Yes, I've moved it. We've gotten them at a safe location. Excellent. Make sure that location is extra safe. We wouldn't want to see anything bad happen to the target. Of course not. Oh, and Ansip. And he like just turns around as he's walking away. Yes? Remember, the only reason that you're here is because I allow you to be here. And we like see like the glint of a knife from another hand as it slowly puts it on the desk. And Ansip, the tiny amount of color that's in his face drains away. And he says, yes, ma'am. I will keep that in mind. And walks out, and then maybe we see the knife like tilt in the sunlight that comes through a crack in one of these boarded up windows. And it flashes back to the coin. And Grelin's kind of dragging on his face, and he's like, so what's the move, guys?
I'm like sipping a milk and eating like porridge. For me, I do not know.
Yeah, it's mid-stot, so it's porridge again.
Nom 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 nom.
Oh yeah.
Meow, 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 meow.
No, I'm not giving you any of mine. Ask the bartender for some.
The bartender pours you some milk. But yeah, does anybody have any input on what the next step is?
We need to find out where they're keeping him.
Agreed.
And whatever was inside that chest.
I do know that was being stored in some kind of barn. But I do not know the location.
It's probably at this point that Seifel does hop off of the counter and turn back to normal.
Bartender looks is like, no, that's right.
Yeah, and he looks like Sour Owl shit.
Yeah.
He like adjusts his little head wrap he keeps on so not everyone's staring at his ear. Well, his ears are down where a human's ears are, but so he can cover them up.
Right.
And he's like, well, we got a lot of money if we want to gear up.
We better do it soon then.
Yeah, I think he said, 24 hours? So that's by ninth bell tonight.
If they decide to keep it that way.
Silver
Could have
casts
gotten
keep
rid
their
of him.
word.
Bunch of thieves. What kind of honor do they have?
You'd be surprised. It's like their shtick.
Whatever you say, little one.
Now, are you guys, sorry, out of character, are you guys talking about your, what's supposed to happen tonight?
They are giving everyone 24 hours to gather to get Holdry before they kill him.
Okay, so this is the guy, the gnome we're trying to get.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, it sounded like we were talking about Cyphel's friend. Wait.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
I don't know, like, I don't want to waste time, but at the same time, I think it might be smart to go to the market and see what all is available to see if we can't use a little bit of this gold at least.
True. You could also, I will remind you that one, the town guard exists, which might be a thing you're forgetting, if you want to take that route, of course. And two, you do have that NPC list of characters who you might be able to interact with.
Oh, and I also need to go around spreading a rumor that the silver casts have been hiding bodies.
Oh yeah, I didn't know you were gonna do that, but cool.
Well, I thought when you said, one, the guards exist, it's like, oh, they hate me. I thought that's where you pointed.
No.
You can't take Johan to the market.
Oh, no, you can take Johan to the market. He's currently an adventurer serving his time, in big air quotes. And about this point, we see... about this point, we'll say that Khadra, you start making your way downstairs to the Deep Woods Lodge.
Making my way downstairs.
Make my way to the lodge.
So how hungover are you, Khadra?
Oh, from the drinking the last time?
Uh-huh.
Oh, the head's probably pounding.
I gotcha. Yeah. Everyone has just kind of been eating their breakfast, discussing the plans for the day. So this is the perfect time for Khadra to be here. The person who has promised that they are going to pay you extra for completing this mission is kidnapped, just as a reminder. And they're giving you 24 hours to rescue him before they will kill him.
But we
That's
do
some
have
sort of
75 platinum pieces.
Each.
Nice piece of dosh.
Oh, that's each. I thought.
Oh no, it's each. So yeah, that's 750 gold each for you guys. Though it is pretty limited what you can buy here. You can buy stuff from blacksmiths, but like there's like a very limited supply of magical items. You won't be able to buy specifically any magical items, but you can go to Martin Mart and he can sell you magical items.
Martin Bunch.
I kind of want to go to
Martin
Martin Mart just to go to Martin Mart.
I've
I've never been to Martin Mart.
You actually have not been to Martin Mart. That's a fair point.
Alright, we're going to Martin Mart.
Let's see
Plus,
here.
Martin's probably actually a good guy to ask for advice.
Yeah, he might be.
He seems
but
like
yeah.
he knows shit.
Yeah. Oh, one
Or he
more
might be
thing,
working
Brian. Just to get you caught up, Brian. I gave you guys a note that's called Key NPCs. You guys can edit this and list out NPCs I give you. And if you don't, I will list the NPCs.
I don't
But
see it.
you can add
Yeah,
notes.
it's not. Did you make sure it's in everybody's notes?
Edit. It should be. Oh,
Because I can't see it.
Yeah, I see
all
it too.
players can edit by all players. Save changes. Quit trying to autofill my name. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be able to see that now. So yeah. There is your list of people that you know or know of. So yeah, feel free to use that to the best of your ability. Yeah, go ahead and open that for stream. Give them just a real quick look. It's nothing fancy, but it just, you know.
It's helpful.
It gives them a quick look. Key lime NPCs indeed. Let's see here. Yeah. So, whatever the case, we have got Actually, as you come down, Grellin probably looks over, gives you that kind of like look that like someone you've been drinking with gives you of like, man, my fucking head, right? You know, sort of thing. And offers you a seat at the bar next to him.
Is there anyone still passed out?
Oh yeah, I mean this is a lodge more than it is like a tavern. So the real sleeping areas, you guys have been sleeping in like outside like buildings that aren't like directly attached.
Oh,
and
I
then
meant, like, are people passed out in this room?
yeah, because
Oh,
there's like a hearth and like the
Steal
free
shit.
lodging. The standard free lodging is just like a bunch of fucking bedrolls in front of the fireplace. Yeah, so there's plenty of people who are still, you know, asleep and
I'm knocked out, like drunk still.
oh
so-
sure, yeah. Why not?
Okay.
It makes sense for the area.
I just kind of like before we leave, I just walk over, grab someone's like kind of it's probably worn down cap,
Mm-hmm.
take it up, look at it, reach my pocket, pull out like a cracked mirror, and just set it down, put the hat on my head.
That yeah, sure. The
Yeah,
bartender
Cypher
looks at
just
you.
looks at you like,
Bartender looks at you and is just like, well, he still owes a tab. And then Grellin's like, fuck it, and like pays off the dude's tab, which is probably like 3 silver. He's like, hey, do whatever then. Just don't sodomize him. Like he says it's some weird off-color joke.
Just traded the hat for a crack or a bent mirror.
Yeah.
Was it your favorite mirror?
It was a mirror that a previous fling had thrown at me in anger.
Hmm.
So your
"Is that how it
favorite
got
mirror.
bent?"
I figure someone like him might want to like a memory like that.
Yeah. Even though you don't explain the memory. You just be like, huh, mirror. But yeah, Grellin looks at you, Khadra, and is like, so, what's your input? What do we do?
So my head stops pounding, but we really need to go rescue the little person.
It wouldn't be right if we didn't.
Yeah.
Essentially sold him.
He is kind of
Yeah, that was a nice price.
I just look over at you and look back.
My friend, we do
What?
not
I'm not
sell
awake
you.
yet. Leave me alone. I'm thinking. Or am I thinking right? Oh, this might be normal.
Are you just having like a existential moment?
Could be.
Who knows? I'm gonna put a couple places in the marketplace real quick. Right. Yeah, and you would have to follow that. Okay, cool. So yeah. Where do you guys want to go first? You know, what's the plan? It's about
Martin
6th
Mart.
bell.
We're going to Martin Mart.
For all your martini needs.
Let me see here. I need to put a couple things here to tell you where these things are.
Mart, Mart,
Um,
your one-stop
so-
shop for martini needs.
um,
So,
how do I?
All I need to know, does he have falafels?
Martin Mart? No, Martin does not have falafel. In fact, I'm pretty sure that people don't know what falafels are here. You might find one person who like is a Rebrellan native who owns a restaurant.
I heard of them once. They're so poisonous they'll kill you with a single. Kill you with a single bite. Knew a friend back in Toulouse. Insert story.
Yeah.
I just look at him and shake my head. It's like, it's too early for this.
Aren't falafels an animal?
I didn't see all this.
No, they're this poison that they give to people, especially unwitting outsiders. They say it's a delicacy, and then bam!
Yeah.
Each of these marks is Martin Mart.
Hold on. One of these marks is Martin Mart.
One of these Marks is not like the other.
There
One
we
of these
go.
Marks, awesome.
Here we go. I'll set. Oh gosh, come on. Grab me the whole X here, and then move Mark. Sorry, folks. We're doing a little bit of live map. Most fun on Twitch. Okay. So let's see here. Okay, cool. So you guys want to go to Martin Mart first?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe like you. Okay, so maybe Martin Mart is a spot that anyone who's a native of this town has heard of, but probably no one has been in. It's known as a pretty upscale joint. So it's mostly for fairly rich people. But yeah.
I think we have enough money on us right now to count as fairly rich.
Yeah. You make more than a small village's mayor does in a year times 75. So, you have enough money to buy,
I've got like 1,400 gold on me.
that is enough money to buy an entire, 10-pound bullion of platinum. So, that's a lot of money.
Are we dupes
Are we gonna
of Stramdex?
are we gonna like turn into a merchant guild?
Maybe. But,
That would
yeah.
be funny.
So, Grellin kind of grabs his. Oh man, it's been a while since I've been to Martin Mart.
Did we discuss? Have I been in there?
I don't know. Have you been to Martin
Is
Mart?
it
I probably
true
have.
that
So I walk up to the paladin,
Mhm.
Heracles, and I'm just like, my friend, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
I hand you a rope. Can you tie my hands?
Yes.
Please
So-
make a use rope check. We're playing 3.5, boys.
yeah, Seifel, while they're doing that, is like, is it true that Martin is like a 6-headed troll?
Grellin looks at you and cocks an eyebrows like, no.
He is much worse than
No,
this.
I heard that he was.
Nope. Just a guy. A weird guy, but he's just a guy.
Very
Is there a
skilled.
specific skill just for use rope?
Yeah.
Very
Yes,
also
there
is.
is. That's why I said we're playing 3.5, boys.
Use
Man, you guys.
that rope.
Oh my god, I rolled a 2.
I'm mainly joking about the use rope thing. I'm not gonna make you guys ever make a use rope check. That's some
Well,
dumb
fuck, I
shit.
put all my ranks.
Oh, did you? That's
You
3.5.
still roll. Wait,
man.
question. How did we both roll 2?
I don't know.
We both rolled a 2. This is
Great
this is the
question.
random number generator. Got
Oh yeah, for sure. God, use rope is such a dumb skill.
Here's the
I love
thing. You won't
3.5.
make us use it, but we can use it to improve our rope usage.
Yeah,
Ah.
I'll allow that. That makes sense. Maybe if you want to set a good DC on somebody who is going to make an escape artist check, that would be a good use of use rope. Or
You really
if
want to
you're ever gonna
scamper
be
up
on-
that rope.
yeah, or if you
So-
want, well, that would be a climb check.
I'm gonna like I don't know, probably like justify that low roll somehow with this.
Mm-hmm.
Heracles has never like worked with rope before. He was never a sailor.
on.
Never knew anybody that was a sailor.
Yeah.
That's a third 2.
Damn. Well, at least you're getting these rolls out of the way, eh?
So
Yeah,
like,
you've
you
never
know,
used
just
rope.
never. And so he's kind of like and
Oh.
you know probably does like a basic shoelace knot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that? It's called a loop-de-loop.
He's probably even muttering around. Okay, then through the holes, make the bunny ears, and muttering to himself.
Oh yeah.
You go over and under again. You make a
Alright.
loop-de-loop. and
So,
pull.
We've made the SpongeBob meme, so let us get on the road again. You guys like start to head out of the bar, and like maybe like the bartender like looks at Grellin's like, you can't keep using our inn for free, Grellin. You've used up all your goodwill. And Grellin just tosses him a fucking platinum. He's like, never mind, you can keep using our inn.
Good will restored.
Yeah, but yeah, so you guys start heading out, and you're kind of walking through. Where are you? You guys are in Chandler Hall. Yeah, you guys start walking through Chandler Hall. You walk into the gate, and there's all of your normal merchants and or not merchants, but tradesmen kind of doing their thing. You know, you hear the sound of blacksmiths and sawing and all of that jazz. You see like a cartwright who's trying to fix a wagon up, and you pass into about this area right here in Market Side, and that's when you start seeing some smoke. And it's some smoke going along your route. So, sure, like Grellin's like, yeah, let's go check out this. Can't take more than 5 minutes, eh?
I'm gonna do a sense with my kitty nose,
Okay.
wherever that is.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's on
what-
your
what are they?
face.
No, I'm trying to think. What the hell is it called? Spot.
Yeah, it'd be spot. Okay. Yeah. You smell smoke. I don't know what to tell you. It's
Well, it's like, does it smell like what kind of smoke? Is it like cooking? Is it like
it's a fire. Like something's burning. Like wood is burning.
fire bad?
Wood and canvas is burning.
Ah, then we should
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That doesn't smell good.
Yeah. So you guys start walking and you make your way to about here in the open air market. You see several, you see like 3 wizards creating a, good. You see 3 wizards creating water into buckets and dousing this fire. But you notice what's on fire, and it's a stand that you and Heracles are familiar with, Seifel. You see that C's stand is on fire, and she's in front of it, just like, ah! Like, so-
Heracles has had too much heartache for like one lifetime. He's
Uh,
he's looking. Can we go another way, please? Can we?
would Ray of Frost help put that out?
They seem to have the fire under control. Like, it's just smoldering ash at this point, you know?
I think he's trying to do a goodwill gesture because you've just realized, along with me, that we're the reason that stand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck it. Hercules might be like Seifel's a bleeding heart.
Yeah.
He runs up to Sai and like immediately gives her a hug.
Yeah, and she looks at you and she's just so much in shock. She just gives you a hug too. Like, she has no fucking idea. Like her fucking stand with like a bunch of her valuables just burned down.
Okay, you
I moved
decide
past
Kitty
Hercules.
can be brave.
Yeah.
Heracles can be brave. Okay, we're
Like,
gonna
I
go
moved
over.
past Heracles and like the rope is no longer on my wrist. I go
Gonna-
up to this side person as well.
Heracles is going to say, "What happened?"
I don't know. I woke up this morning and I went out and it almost seemed like they knew when I got to my stand. Because it had just started burning, but I couldn't do anything about it. It was covered in oil.
Was this the casts?
I don't know. She's like, I don't know. It was somebody. There's somebody burned down me stand, and I don't know why.
I think it might be our fault.
And just step on his tail.
Yeah.
So wait, you've already hide here. You hide.
I
your
hide
tail.
my tail, haha.
I'm gonna say step on foot.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I don't know what would be. Oh, wait a minute. And like she like thinks back to yesterday and is like, it's fine. It's no matter. And she like kind of like brushes a big fucking tear off of her face, you know.
I hold out a platinum to her.
I was actually going to say give her probably half of what I've been, half of it.
Yeah. Okay.
He's probably just gonna give 35.
Well, fuck. If you're giving her that, I mean,
Keep your platinum.
Yeah.
Heracles feels responsible.
Sure. Yeah. No. She like looks at it. She's like, "Oh, do you really mean it?"
It won't bring back what was burned, but it might help you have a new start somewhere else, somewhere safe.
And she like her face breaks again into like these big tears. She's like, "Oh, thank you so much," and like takes it. And Heracles, this is probably the first time you could describe a hug that's been given to you as crushing, because you're so big. But she just gives you this giant fucking hug.
Gonna try and return it, but probably don't have the strength to do that. So mostly just gonna be
Yeah.
Disciple just smiles at Heracles because he's just such a good boy.
Yeah. By the way, Heracles, that's a rep up for you. Like, I don't often bring this up until later in the game, but some of you have already been a part of my game, so you know that this is a thing. In games that I run, I keep a couple stats behind the screen, and I'll bring them up every once in a while. But there's like reputation, and then there's like morality, essentially. And those are definitely that definitely gave you a little bit of reputation and morality. It's like that's just a super kind, selfless kind of thing. So just figured I'd mention that.
He's never been used to having such money anyways. Half of it's kindness, half of it's just not really understanding the worth of it, but he understands that if
You're
he
also
can help
a paladin.
right. But he understands that, some of that was supposed to go to the church anyways, and he feels like, giving it to, the lady that really needs it instead of, the church.
Instead of the academy church thing. Yeah,
right. At least at the moment is probably going to do more good than any.
Okay, sure. And you know what? Just as a side note, you know who probably would be pretty happy with that? Probably Nuna would be pretty happy with that. She's the goddess of charity. So, anyway.
Perfect.
Yeah, so you give her this money, and she gives you the hug, and then eventually she breaks off, and she's like, "Oh, thank you. I'm gonna figure out. I think that I can use this to help rebuild a few things.
Just as long as you're safe, and if it's too much to ask, I understand, but make sure our friend is safe as well."
She's like, "Oh, Abel? I'm sure he'll be fine. I checked up on him last night. I set his cast and made sure that all of his wounds were tended to. He should be. I even brought him a few extra bowls. I'm sure he'll be fine."
Now, hold on.
He chuckles at that.
What did you guys do to Abel when I wasn't here?
Oh, no. Abel got the shit kicked out of him by the silver cast.
So we need to take a quick detour.
Yeah. Oh no, they got that sorted.
Another detour.
Another one? Go and check up on him after he's been fixed up?
Oh, not him.
Oh, the silver cast? Yeah. Oh, I mean...
I don't think we're fighting them anytime soon.
The goal today was to fuck with the silver cast anyway, so,
okay.
I mean, you're disrupting their business by trying to save your compatriot.
Well, I was going to say, at least the specific people we think who did this, we're not fucking with them anytime soon.
Yeah, they one-shot a pretty high-level orc.
Yeah, in a pit fight. It went lethal. Yeah, it was like a bare knuckle boxing thing that went lethal. So, let's see here. But she's like, I feel like C would probably do something. She'd probably be like, "Listen, I know it might not be worth much, but I appreciate this little donation. I have something you might want to know."
Of course. Anything.
Yeah, and she's like, I happened to see Ansip driving out of town. It looked like he was taking. I happened to see Ansip last night, driving out of town as I was packing up my stand. It looked like he was taking the direct western road.
Are there any farms out that way? At least
That's where
ones
all the
with
farms are.
He's never been out west. He came from the east. All right.
Yeah. So there are farms, and she'd probably be like, yeah, there's a handful of farms. That road's
Anyone who's gone for right now? Anyone whose property might be available?
I don't think anyone's property is available. Most of the farms are either busy feeding the town or getting exports for Beltsine. But I know that road's good for getting to both Pool Farms and the southwestern farms, getting to those. So,
Any of them have connections to the Silver Cat?
I mean, shit, not that I know of. Could be anyone, though. The Silver Cast certainly have their share of money.
Point
That's
taken.
Maybe
that's
Martin
the
will know
universal
more.
language. What'd you say?
Maybe Martin will know more.
You're going to Martin, Mart? Well, that's interesting. She's like, you know what? I actually needed to bring something to Martin. Would you do me a favor?
Sure.
Of course.
And
GM
she,
gives us fetch quest.
oh no, it's. I mean, you're on the way. It's not necessarily a fetch quest.
Oh, it's a
more of just-
FedEx quest.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a FedEx quest.
Yeah. So
Up,
she.
I didn't hear. Take to here.
Yeah. So she like takes out a piece of paper and like there's like maybe like a butcher's table kind of over by her place, like a butcher stand. She like moves over a slice of meat or like a big old hunk of meat and like slaps down the paper and like a little bit of blood gets on the corner. The butcher's like, "Oi!" She's like, "Oh, calm the fuck down. My stand just burned down." It's like, you know, this like dwarf who's got like a big cleaver is like, "Ah, shit. Never mind. The big orc looks bad."
Cyphel's
she,
just looking at all of the meat like, one day.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
it
have
could-
money.
I was like, it
You
could be
buy-
today.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
could be
but this
today.
money might be useful for buying more important
You could
things.
spend like 10 gold and probably buy this guy's.
Yeah. Well, maybe not the full stand. It's a pretty
But
robust
that's not
stand.
the point.
But, yeah.
It's
It's-
like, come on, the thief could buy all of his things now. He wouldn't have to steal them, but does he
Mm.
choose to
Steal.
steal them anyways?
I'll trade.
Does
Yeah.
he choose to trade anyways instead of, buying them outright? Yes, he does.
Yeah, exactly. It's the thief ethos.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
I could.
No, he's a trader, not a thief.
I
That's
could
fair.
buy all of this meat, but I kind of need that gold potentially to buy gooder shit.
Yeah. So yeah, she scribbles some shit on a piece of paper. And she kind of rolls it up. And like maybe she like looks at the butcher and is like, can I have some twine? He like looks, he like, twine? It's like, butcher's twine, you div. It's like, all right. Like gives her like a thing of twine. She ties it up and hands this piece of paper. She's like, if you could just give that to Martin, I would be very grateful.
I'll make sure that no one even knows that we have it.
She's like, that doesn't really matter, but all right, thank you.
As long as we don't forget we have it.
Yeah.
A year of real lifetime, like later, we're level 18. Oh fuck, we saw that letter.
But yeah, so you guys, yeah.
It turns out that letter is what would stop Stramdex.
But yeah, so do you guys have anything else you need to do in the marketplace in this little market?
No, I mean we could always come back.
Yeah, you could. I mean, on the way back to even get to the Western Highway, which is this one. Yeah. So yeah, so maybe like she bids you adieu, and she's like, I've got some paperwork to fill out with the guards. I'm not sure what all it'll entail, but I think I'll need to say goodbye for a second, sort of thing.
Don't tell anyone where you got that money from. It's probably
like,
safer that way.
She's like, she like makes like the my lips are sealed kind of motion, You know.
Until she files taxes, and the government's like, "Oh, where'd you get that platinum?"
I don't think that's how that works back then. But
Yeah, no, back then it's like, all right, did you pay your dues? Yes? Cool. You know what I mean? But yeah, so you guys start heading off to Martin Mart, I'm assuming?
Yep, yep.
All right, so you guys head off to Martin Mart. And you guys move from kind of like this more bizarre and stand-based marketplace kind of thing to once you kind of get to like this main road, you start seeing actual brick and mortar buildings. You see all sorts of buildings. Like maybe you see a building for like a leather, for like a clothier, and then there's like a leather / tack maker, you know, that sort of thing. Bakers and all sorts of sundries too. And you finally make it to a building that is both auspicious and inauspicious. And here's what I mean by that. Its architecture is very standard. It's just it looks like any other building around here, you know, like a brick foundation, probably wood slats going all the way up, and a semi-flat roof with like some basic guttering that goes down to the alleyway. However, there's one thing you notice that is very special about this building, and that is the door. The door is unlike all the other doors. Clearly, he does not care about the building code. It's a big circular portcullis-looking door that has like these slats of green and red and blue and purple and yellow wood, all kind of intertwined in this like cross-hatching pattern. And above it, it says Martin Mart.
For all your Martin needs.
Yeah, Martin Mart, magical supplies.
Oh, Seifel's like bouncing on his heels. He's so excited to go to an actual magic shop.
Yeah. Maybe you've been to like some light magic shops that have like common magic items and that sort of thing. But,
Curios
like,
and shit.
Water
Yeah.
sparkling.
Martin Mart is like the adventurer's magic shop. You know what I mean? Like this is the place that like is recommended whenever you're in an area with Mart. You probably actually somebody make me a knowledge arcana check.
I've got all the knowledges, so
I don't have everything, but that one I have.
Hey.
And I have a natural 2 in it.
Yeah, nice. Anyone else who wants to make that roll, you can.
2 seconds.
Okay. Alright. Okay.
I don't actually have that one, I guess.
Sure. So, yeah, Seifel, you don't know this for a fact, but you have heard rumors. You've heard rumors that a Martin Mart always seems to be just within reach of an adventurer. There's not just one Martin Mart. There's several, all across the world. But it's only a rumor. You've never been able to substantiate this because you've never left Chastine, you know. But it's just a weird piece of knowledge where you're like, I wonder who, you know. You've been told by reliable sources, but, you know, there's always tall tales told.
yeah.
But yeah, so who's the first one to enter Martin?
Oh,
it's thought of something.
It's definitely Seifel.
Heracles is going to look at it and say, you know, there was this one time I was in, actually, it's been lots of places. I feel like I've seen this place so many times. Never really gone in, but it's funny. They all seem to look just the same.
My friend.
Don't trust them.
I have to hold out my arms and the rope again. Would you kindly?
Do my best.
Yeah. Maybe. I like how
Maybe
you're not
better than
explaining it.
2
You're
this
just like,
time.
can you tie my arms, please?
Oh, I think at this point he understands. You know,
Yeah.
there shouldn't trades are dangerous in this building most.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Nice. Good enough. It looks decent.
Yeah, this time I tried out one my grandfather mentioned once. Never showed me how to do it. He just mentioned it.
But yeah, no. So Seifel, You go up to the door, you fling the door open, you're hit with the smell of incense, and you hear this bell ding that almost sounds like a gong as you enter. And in front of you is a store that is so fucking appealing. Across the wall, there are 3 counters, each one with its own bell. There is a counter that behind it has several old tomes, leather bound, and even bound in strange materials. You see one that has scales, one that has feathers, and all of these books look near ancient. One of these has something that looks almost like a personal armory. It has weapons and armor and magical gear like grappling hooks and that sort of thing on the back wall. And then finally the wall to the right has all sorts of strange curio. You're looking at heads of strange creatures, jarred specimens, and these you'll see like a skull, or maybe you'll see like a puzzle box that seems to radiate a strange energy. And the store is completely empty. Each of the counters has a little note card that in common reads, "Please ring the bell for service."
Yeah, I'll go up to the one that's the like adventurer equipment,
Okay.
the middle one, and ring it.
Okay, so you ring the bell, and from behind the counter, as if he was there the whole time, this gentleman in a vest just kind of like raises up with his arms crossed. And he says,
Yeah, I'm just like, ooh,
"Hello, welcome to Martin Mart. How can I help you?"
do you do that all the time?
Only if people are, sometimes. Depends on what kind of mood takes me. Hey, you! And he looks directly at you. What are you doing back in here?
Don't worry, I come
He's with us. He's with us.
Hold up my hands tied
You keep an eye on that one. His idea of trading is very archaic.
I tried to tie his hands. Are his hands still tied? I checked. Look back to check.
Yeah,
I know better.
he's playing along.
You traffic in magic items and stuff, right?
That is correct.
Do you
I'm
also
Martin.
traffic in information, Martin?
Well, it depends on what kind of information you're looking for. I'm no seer. I often don't try and keep my ear to the ground for any beats within the town. I'm not that kind of information trafficker.
Well, we've been tasked by the Adventurers Guild to get back a chest. And this chest had apparently something really important in it, because the silver casts were willing to give each of us 75 platinum pieces in order to not come for the chest.
We didn't take it, of course.
Let's see here. Quick pause. Apparently, we just got 40 motherfucking followers, guys.
Woo!
I'd like to thank everyone here on Twitch. You guys are wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank the Academy.
I'd like to thank the Academy. You guys are fucking awesome, and we're gonna get right back into the action. No celebratory masturbating for us quite yet. So, whatever the case, Martin goes, well, I don't quite know anything about the silver cast. However, and he says, I do know about that chest.
You do?
Well, yes. I'm actually the one who was supposed to receive it.
Really?
Well, not directly the one who was supposed to receive it. I was going to go and barter for it whenever it got into the hands of the School of the Eighth Palm. Or the School of the Eighth Shard. But
I'm going to roll a history world check to see if I know what that is.
okay.
Or
School of the Eighth Shard.
knowledge, history.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. Yes, you know exactly what the School of the Eighth Shard is.
Oh,
Okay.
Cyphel's like,
Yeah. So the School of the Eighth Shard, for our viewers at home, and for the benefit of re-upping Cyphel's knowledge, The School of the Eighth Shard is basically a school that was made by Theed Blackedge, a name that has gone down in history as one of the most important people in defeating Stramdex the first time around. In fact, he was the only one who made it out. No one knows where anyone else is that defeated Stramdex. Well, defeated. He formed this school as somewhat of a defense for if Stramdex ever came back. And he's since been in a monk meditative hibernation to be roused if Stramdex is ever to re-arrive, right? So, yeah.
Scyphel almost fell over when
Yeah.
he heard that. It's like, he like leans in and is like, does that mean the chest had what I think it had in it?
Well, that's a very good question, and it's a question that, if you know, might get you killed.
I look to the party, like, brimming. I'm like, guys, I know what was in the chest. It's so cool.
Does that mean he dies first?
And
Sorry,
I'm dying. You're all
just...
dying with me. Come here. Huddle, group huddle.
He says, I'm not, trying to assume anything. It's just, whenever we get mysteriously threatening messages like that, we tend to, have to live with consequences.
And I promise we're not soliciting Martin. I just need to tell my friends the good news or bad news. I don't know. News.
So let me give you guys an exact understanding of what this is, right? So whenever there was a sword, right? And that sword was known as Sickbore. It is of the ancient tongue, known as Soul Rendered. You rolled a 24, so I'm giving you academic knowledge on it. Or a nat 20 rather. So this sword, Sickbore, was forged by the greatest forge master that ever existed. It was a sword that was said to be able to destroy the soul of whoever it touches. Sickbore was shattered into 3 pieces when it struck the ground by Stramdex. Basically, the School of the Eighth Shard owns one of those 3 pieces. So,
Guys.
it's a legendary sword.
I pulled everybody in for a group huddle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, guys.
How do I have a feeling I don't want to know?
Of Sickbore in that chest.
How common knowledge is that?
Maybe you've heard of Sickbore, but it's more of like a fairy tale kind of thing. It's like one of those things where... So the whole thing with Stramdex is the only thing that is public record is that he did exist and that a party did kill him. That's at least common perception. Details about it are completely hazy and somewhat intentionally hazy. So you might have heard of Sickbore, but you might have heard of it as like a fairy,
Sickbore, even I'm not dumb enough to believe those fairy tales.
It's the sword that killed Stramdex.
Actually, you would know it is not the sword that killed Stramdex.
Well, I say killed in more of like a... He's not, here right now, but... wizards.
I know many. What is your point again?
Death is but an inconvenience to a wizard.
Ah, yes.
But that explains so much. They want the piece. I don't know why they want it, other than it's probably like really valuable. But
would they have more?
No. Why would they want it anyway? What would they want with Sickbore?
From what I understand from the fairy tales, something like that is worth a lot of money and is certainly very powerful to the one who wields it.
Oh, I know. If I could ever get my hands on
I
Sickbore.
call dibs.
But I'm the magic user.
And I'm the one who hits things with swords. Thank you very much. Have a nice.
Why do you think I have a great sword on my back?
Why do you think I have a great sword on my back?
Touche.
Kinda look
Don't
down
know what
my
that
dagger.
means, but I'm gonna assume that means I.
Yeah.
And then, like, I run back up to Martin, and I'm like, do you have anything on sale that could help us get back the piece of Stramdex's sword? Or, well, not Stramdex, you know what I mean.
Martin, like, kind of looks a little press gang. Back. Well, hold on. If you're looking for magical equipment, I can certainly help you with that. I happen to have 3 items. Oh, and he, like, looks over at Hadra and is like, don't worry, I have noticed you're browsing. I'll be there in just... Give me 1 moment. And he is like, all right, let me get you a spread here. And he walks into a back room, and finds himself, and, like, you guys see, like, shit, you see shit, like, falling, or, like, flying out of this door that he has. Like, you see, like, a giant golden, or, like, a giant gilded gem. You see, like, a bunch of, like a jar full of spiders. Like, you see, like, a troll skull fly out, and he says, I think I have it somewhere in here. Give me just...
Does its jaw flap like Skyrim trolls?
Yes, it does.
Is there a certain spider in that jar?
No, there is not. But that is something you might see on the specimen wall. just as a nod to you and me. Let's see here. Yeah. So he finally kind of finishes. He walks back out, and he's wearing a completely different outfit. First of all, he, like, has, like, a turban on now, and he's got, like, this long like yellow, like, shawl coat combination thing.
Did you just put that on?
And he says, I don't know what you're talking about. So here are the things that I have.
I just look back at the rest of the party like, am I being played? Did he put catnip in the air?
And he puts let me see here. Puts 3 items on the table. He puts a necklace, he puts a robe, and he puts a small horse statue. He says, alright, so here's what we have on sale today. These are my specials. We have a necklace of fireball. This is a small one. It is only 3 charges. For this, I am asking the price of, and he, like, counts on his fingers, and he's like, the price of 400 gold. We have...
Do the charges restore?
You want
No, the charges do not restore.
You want 133 gold a shot?
Yes, that's exactly what I want. And he, like,
Don't you
looks
know
at
how
you.
cool Fireball is?
I fucking love Seifel.
Oh god.
He points to the robe, and he said, and the robe seems to have several patches, but, like, it looks like there's a lot of other patches that are missing. He says,
is it that robe of many patches?
yes, he says, this is a robe of patches, a robe of many patches. Sadly, it is an incomplete robe, but what can I say? I'm giving you the clearance bin. This I would like 700 for. And then he points towards the small bronze horse statue. He says, and this happens to be a statue of steed. I would like to ask for this 2,000 gold pieces.
Ooh, it's a little steep even for this kitty.
Don't you have anything exciting?
What about magic weapons?
those are actually over there. And he like scoops all of those items up and like sets them under the counter.
Or
He's
magic
just-
armor.
Yeah, and he like you notice that the counter's like pulled off, and he's Miss Johnny, and like he like properly he just dead fucking identifies you. He's like, Miss Johnny, would you mind pressing the bell for me, please?
I look at it like, okay.
Okay. So as you ring the bell, he sinks below the counter and then rises up from the counter in front of you. And he's wearing another completely different outfit. This time he's wearing like a frock and like with a frilled collar. And he says, "Excellent. Thank you very much. Now, as for magical weapons and armor, he says, I have a tower shield. Or he pulls down a shield, like a tower shield. He pulls down, let me see here. He would pull down a tower shield, a pick, a light pick, and a dagger. He says, I first of all have the tower shield of defense. Giving you a actual stat for that shield.
Does it have Zorn teeth?
No, it does not have Zorn teeth. It is a gleaming shield coated in silver and gold leaf. It is a +2 shield with magical protection. Yeah, pretty substantial. He says, for this, I am asking 1,200. I happen to also have, and he points to the light pick. He says, this is the pick of thundering. And that pick is a +1 light pick with the thundering enchantment, so it does 1d6 lightning damage on contact, or 1d6 electric damage on contact.
How many charges?
Infinite.
So it does the usual 1d4 and that.
Yes, and the 1d6. And it counts as a magical weapon, of course. So you can kill ghosts and stuff with it.
Ghost.
Yeah. He says, for this, I am asking 900 gold pieces. And as for this dagger of venom, it's a standard +1 dagger. That also always counts as having a DC 16
God damn.
con save poison that does 1d4, 1d4. And he says, for this, I am asking the nice asking price of 1,500.
Do you enchant items?
Nope, I only sell them.
I like that pick. But I've also
Heracles is uninterested.
Heracles is uninterested.
He's really not. He's just kind of, picking at probably like something on the table or what.
Yeah.
Please, you could have the big shield.
I carry and use a great sword, little one.
Well, I can't use it. It's too big.
Use a great sword, little one. You should know that using one of those one-handed is not only unwieldy, but unnecessary.
But a tibbet can dream, can't he?
That, and I've only had this sword for 2 days.
Also, do you flinch at the fact that he just dead identifies you as a tibbet?
Yeah, but at the same time, he sells magic shit, so I'm sure that this place is probably enchanted in some way to be like, it identifies magic.
Yeah.
And I'm a tibbet,
Mm-hmm.
so I am just naturally magical.
Right.
I mean, I count as a monstrous humanoid, so...
Right.
Yeah, probably a little flinch, but more of a, I'm just not going to acknowledge
Address that.
right now.
Yeah.
You have anything exciting?
Well, these are my bargains.
Yes, I can see that.
He says, is there anything in particular you're looking for?
No, I'm just looking to feel something. I'll know it when I see it.
And he goes,
Whoa.
And he he takes a pause and he goes, I might actually have a solution for that. Would someone mind pressing the curio counter again?
Sifo runs over and hits it. That's so cool.
Thank you very much. So, I think I might have just this thing. And he,
Is he using a French accent now?
yeah.
Please
and
tell me he's got like a beret and the French striped shirt.
He's dressed basically in like, he's dressed basically in a modern day tuxedo, which is pretty unusual fashion for this area, but for gnomes, not too unusual. Yeah.
Does he at least have a twiddly French mustache?
Oh yeah, definitely. And he runs to the back room, and you hear like a deep growl. And he's like, "Hey, no! You do not get to make that noise at me. I fed you yesterday." And you hear like a thud and like a whimper. Good riddance. And fucking walks back out, and there's a gem in his hand. And he sets it down on the table. It's a blue stone. It looks kind of like a plumb bob from The Sims. But it's like this crystal clear blue. He says, "For you, this may be very. This happens to be an ion. You know what ions are? You are an.
You're cutting out. I'm sorry. You're a what?
Sorry. This happens to be an ion stone. You know what ion stones are. You are an. Yes, they are made by the one who made you. This happens to be an ion stone. This happens to be an ion stone of radiance. And that means once per day, you get a 1d8 burst, 10 feet out from all directions of radiant damage. It is a will save. That is a DC equivalent to your caster save.
Ooh.
Yeah, he seems a little bit more interested in this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He says, "You know what? I will even give you a little bit of a, discount on this. I would be willing to part with this for 500 gold pieces."
You should get it.
Well, considering he's only got 350 to his name, he's thinking
I'll
about it.
give
But
you the gold.
he's looking at it and says, "Interesting. I'll have to think about it. Probably pinch my pennies, save for a week."
Sounds fine to me. I can put this.
Are you
I can
offering
put-
him gold?
Yeah, I'm like, I'll pay for it.
He says, "No, don't. Just cover the difference. That would be more than enough.
All right.
That would be
I
15
hand you
platinum."
I hand you 15 platinum.
Yeah.
Okay, and I fish out the other 35. Probably just
Yeah.
spill them on the ground, pick out the gold, and then say, "All right, if you want to count, there you go."
He says, "Do not worry. I already have covered." And like,
Is that really what he said?
yeah. And
Man, this really puts a damper on Heracles trying to be a suave negotiator.
yeah. And as you like set it on the counter, he like takes the coins and he tosses them up and then opens up like his sleeve and they all fall into his sleeve. And he pushes the plumb bob pushes the ion stone forward and goes, "Ah, thank you very much. Your business is very much appreciated." And he looks over at you. Are you about to ring a bell at the book counter?
Yeah.
Okay, he looks over you and goes, "You may ring the bell." Whoop, whoop. And he comes back up in like a button-up t-shirt or a button-up shirt and a leather vest. And let me see here.
And he's like, of all the stores in all of the world, you had to walk into mine.
No, actually, he goes, "All right, partner, so here's the thing." He goes, "Here's the thing. Here's what I have right now." He takes like 3 books off the counter and sets them down. And in fact, one of them is a slate, right? And 2 of them are books. he says, this happens to be the fiendish article of a tune. This happens to contain a few books here. Or this happens to contain a few spells. It has, this is excellent dungeon diving. It says animate, rope, expeditious retreat, tensor's floating disc, and I'm asking 300 gold pieces for it. And it has like a red cover, right? And on the front there's like a demon. He says, and there's like golden clasps on the sign. It says, "Don't let the demon fool you." I think the person who made this book just happened to be a little bit more on the edgy side.
Is this the book or the tablet?
This is the book. And then he has there's like, I guess the second book isn't really a book either. It's a folio, right? So it's kind of like a folder filled with pages. He says, "This happens to be the Celestial Codex. Don't know why it's called that, but anyone who reads this tome gains dark vision for 2 days. For this one, I'm asking 1,000 gold pieces, please." And then he looks at the slate. He says, "And this is the Slate of Bari. This happens to be carved a long, long time ago. If you read it, for the rest of your life, you happen to get the spell Fairy Fire as a spell-like ability."
How very gamey of him to say.
Yeah. It says, "You know Fairy Fire," and that would give you Fairy Fire for your character for the rest of your life, once per day, as a spell-like ability. It says, "For this one happens to be a little expensive because not only does it come with a bit of a history, but it also happens to have a very powerful enchantment for whoever reads it first. This one I'm charging 2,500 gold pieces for."
I think I've read it 80 times. The 2 days of dark vision, is that just once forever, or can you read?
You can reread it every. It has to be attuned to you for that to actually take effect. So only one person can use it, but they can refresh it every time they run out. They can't do an overlapping refresh though. It takes 1 hour to read the book. That one was that was like 1,000. Yeah.
What about the other, the like dungeon delving book?
Oh yeah, the Fiendish Articles. That one was 350. It's just a spell book, so I mean anyone can read it as they have used magic.
And those recharge?
No.
Hmm.
They do
like
not.
Scrolls, one time.
It's like a scroll, yeah.
Oh.
Poo.
But it contains a decent amount. It contains 10 of each of those spells.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I should have used magic for that.
Yeah.
Honestly, he was just gonna point to a book on the wall and be like, "How much is that one?" He cared less about what was in. Oh, I don't have this magic device.
But yeah, 350 for what is that? 40 spells is at 1, 2, 3. No, it's 3 spells. So yeah, 350 for 30 spells is pretty good.
Oh, I still have skill points too. Because I never leveled up. So I have 11.
That would cover the fact that I don't get a lot of utility spells.
It would. That is true.
But at the same time, but I probably don't have enough money to, because I've only got like, I miscounted my gold. I've only got 500 or no, 600, 800. Yeah, so
I only have 800 gold.
I don't have enough to enchant my greatsword.
That's true.
Looks like we're just gonna have to fight over Stramdex. I mean, not Stramdexes, but the sword.
Yeah, have to fight over the soul ring.
Does he have other books?
Huh?
Does he have other books?
Yeah. I mean, he's got like mundane tomes.
So
You wanna take a peek at a mundane tome?
Yeah. Near enough.
Yeah. You just point at a random one, probably. He pulls down one that has this pinkish leather. with a lot of stitches all over it. He says, this happens to be a pretty good choice, actually. This is the Enchiridion of Blasphemy.
Enchiridion?
Yeah, the Enchiridion of Blasphemy. It says, this is one that you probably don't want to get caught with by any law enforcement often. I mean, they're not, it's not illegal.
Is this?
No. It's like, it's not illegal. It just happens to be, well, you know, a little bit, well, it says it in the name, blasphemous. A lot of people don't like it. It's a guidebook to all of the Dark Pantheon. And not one that portrays them in a negative light either. It's actually one that espouses some of the more positive angles. Now, I'm not saying that they're necessarily positive, but could be a useful tool.
Marty Mart does not condone the use and/or opinions of anything written in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sounds like it'll be a good read.
He
using
says,
your accent, my bad.
Yeah, he's like, I'll part with. I've had this book for a while, and the people who want to buy it are people who I don't think should own it. So, to be honest with you, I'd be willing to get rid of this for 50 gold pieces. That's a pittance.
Just quick out of character, how much was the dagger again?
The dagger was I didn't write this down. It was
a lot.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never
It
mind.
was like 1,400, which no one was gonna.
1,400. Thank
you. I struggled my bonds for a second. Like I shrugged, reached in my pocket with both hands, pull out like a handful of things, like just like 7 platinum, just drop them down.
Oh no, he says, "Oh, let me help you with that." As like you're kind of working with it, and he like undoes your your ropes, and he's like,
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
he undoes your ropes and goes, "Now that should be right."
I just.
Yep.
He gets
Martin's got the best service.
Yeah.
I just pull out 6 platinum and put it on the counter.
He goes,
Thanks.
excellent. An extra platinum. I appreciate your donation. And like puts his hand over it, and then when he lifts it, it's gone. And he pushes it forward. Hadra, I will tell you, this would be the wrong place for that. For that, you'd probably want to go to a blacksmith, and you'd probably have to put in an order for them.
Perfect. I'll go to a blacksmith.
Oh, so you're just gonna separate?
We can go that way after. Because I also would like to go to a blacksmith, but I am going to hand over 30 platinum to buy that spell book.
Yeah, he takes the platinum and he like kind of does like that card shuffle thing, you know, the card shuffle but with coins, and then he just like slaps his hands and it's gone, and the folio just like is all of a sudden in your hand and you had no idea how it got there. He goes, "That's not a bad book purchase, my friend. That's actually a fairly good one."
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about training to be a Duskblade is our spells aren't really useful unless it's for beating people up.
Wait a minute. You happen to be part of the... Well, no, you're not part of the Duskblade Order, but...
No, but my uncle, well, he's not really my uncle, but the guy who raised me was.
Ah, so he was training you in the ways. You know, that is a very respected order, in my opinion. Folks do a lot. But, whatever the case, I appreciate y'all's business. Is there anything else you would like to purchase from me today?
He's looking at the ion stone like, not really. I honestly wasn't expecting to buy anything today.
Okay. Let me put that in my magic items real quick. What is it called?
It is the fiendish tome of Atun, A-T-U-N.
All right, and that gives me.
That gives you 10 uses of animate rope, 10 uses of what's that spell? Escape. You know the spell I'm talking about.
Escape artist? No,
Expedious
that's
retreat.
Huh? Expedious retreat. Thank you. And then 10 uses is Tensor's floating disc. Yeah, and there's no specific stats on it other than there's no specific you have to read the spells with the book in your hand, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know how to use a magic device.
Exactly, and yeah, you just have to make a check. We'll set the DC fairly low because it's a spell book and you're a spellcaster. We'll say that the DC is
12?
to use the spell. Yeah. So DC 12 on a failed DC check, the spell is not expended.
All right.
Yeah. So we'll roll with that. Expeditious retreat. There we go.
Yeah, so that's what you said.
You said expedious.
No, I said expeditious.
Yeah.
Oh.
I said escape instead of retreat.
Oh.
Yeah. Or retreat instead of escape, rather. So expeditious. Wait. We'll figure it out after the session.
It's retreat.
That thing.
Yeah, the thing. But
I
yeah.
updated key NPCs with the 2 other books that Martin has in case someone knows one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or if I want to go back for that Celestial Codex eventually.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Although that Slate of Berry for just it's old, and so I was like, don't touch.
Yeah. But yeah, Martin is like, well, folks, you have been wonderful. And he looks at something. Are any of you tech heads in a way? Do any of you guys know much about gnomish technology?
I think I have not. I mean, I'm trained in knowledge engineer.
Yeah, you would recognize this then. There's no check. He has a wristwatch, which is pretty fucking rare and very much a sign of status in places that are not gnomish area. Looks at it and goes, but as far as I can tell, it is about let's see, it's about 9th bell, so I think I might take my breakfast break. And he says, do you have any more questions for me before I go?
Oh, Seifel's just cradling this book like it's a child to his chest.
Well, you all look like happy customers.
I'm just nose deep in the book.
Yeah.
Gonna pat a Seifel on the shoulder. Remind me, I owe you $1.50.
Hey, we're an adventuring party now, and that means what you do helps what I do.
I appreciate that.
He's like, all right, well, folks, it's been a pleasure. And he taps the bell, sinks below the counter, and the store is empty again.
I'm like a little girl whenever I clapping over here,
Oh yeah, this. No matter how many times he does it, Seifel's like, ooh.
I'm in real life.
My Martin is a recurring character in my fantasy campaigns. I love him. He's one of my favorite NPCs. So because he's every NPC and no NPC. But yeah. So
Everybody hates my recurring NPC.
Scrump.
Yes.
And
And Barnabas.
Okay.
Barnabas.
Barnabas because you made Barnabas. Thank you very much. Yeah, you just played into that. But yeah. So, you guys gonna head off to a blacksmith now?
Yeah,
Yes.
probably on our way to the western egress.
Yeah. Okay, the Western Highway. Let me get something marked here.
As we step outside, I remember what he said. Close the book, put a little leather book pouch I had on.
Yeah, sure. He probably gave you a pouch to hide
Oh,
it.
I've had one.
Oh, you've had one?
It was
Okay.
just one of the items. Go to it. It is a leather bag previously owned by an upperclassman, swapped for a silver knife.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me see here. I need to draw a good X. Come on. I said a good X. No, I said a good X. Well, I'll just downscale it. There we go.
There are so many items.
So let's see here. You guys, there happens to be a spot here that is pretty decent. It happens to be a blacksmith. You guys start heading out, and maybe Grellin is like, yeah, I know this guy. He's a little bit temperamental, but he's one of the best damn forge clerics in town. So he'll probably be able to give you a hand. And you guys head over, and
A forge cleric, you say? Is he in fact
Huh?
I said, in fact, is he in fact a dwarf?
Yeah, how'd you know?
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe I'm running one in another campaign.
But yeah, so you guys walk over and you see this big fucking building with these iron I-beam supports and like this roof that is like this ventilated, slatted, like, but still shingled roof, right? And there's like all sorts of like it's split into what seems like two different areas. There's an area that has a bunch of like gears and like gauges and all sorts of steam pipes coming out of it. And then the other half of it happens to be just a giant fucking furnace with anvil and some like racks. And you approach, and like you can hear from a block down, ting, 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 sort of thing. But you approach, and you see this squat figure with this, like, clearly you can see their beard from behind them, like poofing out massively.
Is he a ginger?
Yes, of course he is. He's a dwarf. What do you expect? He's
Could
a
be
dwarf
white.
stereotype.
Could be white-haired.
True, could be, but no, he's a younger one. But he is the best damn forger in this town. He's got goggles up on his head, and this big leather apron that's tied behind him. And as you approach, you hear Grellin go, "Hey, Bogri!" And like, ting, ting, Bogri! And like he turns around and he's like, what? Oh, Grellin, it's been a while since you've been here. How's the blade doing ya? Grellin like kind of holds around his hand and goes, man, it's okay. He goes, oh, okay, you're shitting me, you fucking lunatic. That's the best blade you've ever held. He's like, yeah, it's pretty good, you know. He goes, I'm not here to shoot the shit about the blade, though. My friends here are looking for some equipment. We got some shit going on now. Oh, you're looking for kit. He like reaches out like a dirty hand to anyone who will grab it. Doesn't really
I'll
make
shake his
eye contact.
hand.
Yeah, and he's got a firm grasp, and your hand is left
I'm like,
covered in soot.
ow!
Yeah.
He comes to, yeah, he's gonna come to Heracles and he's gonna be, greetings, my name is Heracles, the blah 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 blah.
Oh, you're back.
Oh, excellent. My name is Bogri Forge Lighter. Don't worry, I don't just light the forge anymore. But that was the first 100 years of my life, just serving under a forge lighter. I figured that, you know, why spend my time in the mountains when I can be making a little bit of gold above ground? And he's, you know, shaking everyone's hands. And he's the kind of guy who will talk a lot, you know, just about random shit. Be like, so, what can old Bogri do you today?
Kitties first.
Well, I had, and I like, you pull out this great sword, and I'm like, I like this,
Right.
but can it be made into a masterwork piece?
He like takes it, and he like kind of motions his hands for you to take it from you.
Yeah, I hand it to him. Obviously, handle
Actually,
first.
you're a size category small, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a small creature.
This is a size category too big for you.
Ah, crap.
I just realized.
I
can
forgot.
break it down.
3.5 is not fun
That's
to
how I
play as
was
small
wondering
in
how
it.
you were using it in
Yeah,
the first place.
I forgot about that. That's my bad, guys. Maybe you like hefty and goes, "Whoa, big sword for a small lad." No offense. He like takes a look and goes, "Oh, this thing looks like this is well taken care of. What are ya, ex-military?"
Oh, I got it for a bounty.
You got it for a bounty.
Well, from a bounty.
Oh, guy must have been ex-military. This is one of the finest taken care of in a while. He knows his shit.
Not anymore.
Yeah, he kind of like looks it over, flips it over. He goes, this looks like it might be a little too big for you. I could possibly hew it down to a smaller size for you. It might take me a couple days to do it. Make it a masterwork too. I'd have to take about 150 gold off you for it, though.
I'll consider that, but I also have a couple of other weapons I would like to know if you have, possibly.
He goes, sure. And I'll tell you now, pricing-wise, in case anyone has forgotten how it works in D&D 3.5, making any weapon masterwork is you take the weapon's cost and then you add 100. So if you want to purchase a masterwork weapon, it's a weapon plus 100 gold. But yeah, he's like, what weapons are you looking for?
A guisarme or a halberd.
Well, I've got a halberd. A guisarme might be a little bit. I might have to make that, but I've got a halberd, and honestly, the best thing about halberds is I can just take the head off of the off of the normal size and on a wee bit smaller. That was a good little giggle. But yeah, he's like, so I can do that for you if you're looking for it. And I mean, cost would just be base price. So
it's just a standard one.
I mean, you can get a masterwork one, but it'll just be plus the 100 gold.
And an extra 100, and that would be 110.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, now I have to look at the dummy small damage real quick.
Small damage rolls, yeah.
1d2.
But yeah, he's like, so, I'll let you browse my wares, and as you're browsing, who else?
The finest wares in the land.
I'd be looking for a particular weapon.
What kind of weapon are you looking for?
Have you ever made or heard of a double scimitar?
Ooh, never made. Definitely heard of them. It's actually that's an interesting proposition there. I've been wanting to. Hold on. I know. Cool. He's like, I've never made one, but I've always been very interested. I'd like to make one if you'd pay me for it.
Then I think we might be able to strike a deal.
I love striking deals. He says, the only thing I love more than striking deals is striking the earth. And he kind of like takes his forge hammer and drops and like slams it onto his anvil. By the way, you guys do notice that there is a sigil to. Man, I've always been bad at fucking remembering names, especially ones I make. There is definitely a shrine to both Oin and to Dilius.
Twin.
Huh?
Is that the twins?
No. Oin is the god of it's like Owen but minus the W, how you pronounce it. And then Dilius is the god of commerce, because there is a shrine to Ankar, but that's inside the other half of the building. But he's like, I'd be more than happy to make it for you. And do you want that masterwork, by the way?
Oh, hell yeah.
He'd be like, well, I'd be more than happy to make it for you for 150.
Deal.
He goes, excellent. It'll take me a day's work. I don't have much on my plate anyway today. So if you come back tomorrow about the same time, it should be done.
Rapier master like, can you do something with this?
Oh, go ahead.
And I hand over the 150 to him.
Excellent. He goes, oh, payment up front, my favorite. And he sticks it in a coin pouch, and he yells, portal! And like you hear from inside the other building, why? Write down 150, you lout reprobate. He goes, fuck you, fine. And like you hear like fucking some grumbling come from inside the other side of the building. And he goes, and as for you, young man, about your rapier, and he takes it and he goes, no offense, but looks like a butter knife might have a better edge on this. Yeah, I'd be more than happy. Hell, I could probably do this in, I don't know, about 6 hours. Come back, what time would it be? It'd probably be about 9:30. So, come back at afternoon's 5th bell and I'll have it done for you.
He just kind of sighs. What kind of payment would you like?
Well, you know, it would be 100 gold coins, or 10 platinum coins, or 1,000 silver coins, or 10,000 copper coins. I'm not too picky.
Would
You
you
really
honestly
take
count
10,000
out
cop-
that many?
He goes, well, I'd have Owen, what did I say? Well, I literally just said his name. God damn it.
He gets 17 platinum. I just hand him a handful of coins.
17
Platinum.
yeah, that's 170. He goes,
Yeah.
oh, good. Thank you for the extra tip. What did I just say his name was? God damn it.
Orson?
Holson. That's what I said. Holson! What? Add another one. Add another 170 gold pieces. Why don't you ever do the bookkeeping? Why don't you ever shut the hell up? Ah, you bastard! And he's like, don't mind him. He's a bit temperamental.
I love it.
Yeah, and he takes those and stuffs them in his coin purse. He goes, I can get all of these done for you. Is there anyone else who needs anything?
Not equipment-wise, but I'm wondering, do you know a good bowyer anywhere?
Oh, a good bowyer. Well, there happens to be this elf that lives down the road. His name is damn it. Hold on a second. I should have had my
Anduin. Call him Anduin.
Anduin? Hold on. I know that
Yeah, why not?
Anduin is a character. Something else.
Is it the King of Stormwind?
Yeah, of course.
There happens to be a wood elf named Samas who who works down the road. He's an excellent fletcher and bowyer. He also happens to have some extra game on him usually as well.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. And I flip him a gold coin for his troubles.
Catches out of the ground. He goes, you know what? Never mind. And he like sticks it in his like pocket. Hold on. I need to write down the.
Man, I forgot how awful it is to wield 2 weapons in 3.5. They really don't want you doing that.
Why, I'm only -2 on my attacks with it, doing two-handed. Or 2-weapon.
Yeah, but I would need the feet.
I have the feet.
I'll just call him Holoi. I think I've used different today. But his name will be Holoi, and he'll be the Tinkerer.
What?
You guys can meet him if you want to tinker, but I don't think you have any need for it at the moment.
No, I'll just pay the 115 to get my greatsword made into a tiny greatsword. Small.
Yeah, okay. That works. He goes, alright. He's like, hold on! What? Another 115!
Also, do you have a warhammer?
Do I have a warhammer? Does an elf lick up tree bark? Of course I have a
beer. Like,
Of course I have a warhammer. What are
I'm
you
gonna lean
looking
over to Seifel. Have you ever actually seen an elf lick tree bark?
I've never been outside the city. I don't know what wood elves do.
Fair enough.
Here's an extra 120
That'll be a new story.
For what? Oh, for a warhammer.
for a masterwork warhammer, Master Dwarf.
And he goes, I do have that. And he like goes and grabs off a weapon rack, a warhammer, and he presents it to you in two hands. He goes, you know, this was actually for a no, but he decided that he was going to skimp on payment. I beat him up, and then I kept the hammer.
Oh, he would probably be so happy to see Seifel take it and expertly like do the little twirl around his sides and hold it up to the light.
Oh yeah, and he goes, oh, a master of the weapon, eh? I understand. Well, there's something you might want to know about that weapon. That weapon happens to have a name, just because I forged it especially for me own. That weapon happens to be Kalvor, the giant slayer in my tongue.
Oh, Seifel is like about to explain. He's like, I have a named weapon.
It's just a +1 warhammer, but
every adventurer has a named weapon.
Yeah, at this point, Grellin is just like, kid's gonna eat this up, you know.
It's going. I promise. I'm gonna put so many shocking touches through this thing. I'm going to make all kinds of goblins and giants scared of it.
He goes, exactly. Coat that in the reds of your enemies, boy. That's a thirsty hammer. And he says, is there anything else I can do for any of you? Alright, well, I am going to get to work on those double scimitars. Seems like an excellent project. He walks over to one of the... He walks over and does a kneel, like a really quick kneel in front of like both of the shrines he has. And then he just takes a big old hunk of fucking steel and tosses it into the furnace. And he's like, right, well, you fellas, unless you want to see the boring process of making some of the greatest weapons on this planet, I don't really have... I'm not much of a conversationalist.
I've already pulled out my book again.
Yeah, you pulled out your book and you're reading it. Nice.
I start heading down to the elf.
Okay, you start heading to the Bowyer Samasi. I wrote his name down.
Good boy.
Making my way to
I'm teaching myself to rewrite down names because I'm used to one of my party members in another campaign that I'm running. I'm used to him writing down every name the second that I say it. So I gotta hold myself accountable again.
Oh, that I've messed up the damage macro on that.
LOL. Let's see. I want to have this X over here because it's just down the road. Shrank a little bit. And I can set it to map layer. This is just a shopping episode, which I'm fine with because there's a lot of art.
See if it gets it right this time.
Okay.
Yep, it does.
Okay. Samasi's bows. Okay.
Now I can yell for the Warhammer.
But yeah. So as you guys head down the road.
I wish you had given it to me. It was like, its name is Golmaraz.
No, I'm not going to give you guys a hammer named Golmaraz. Not at least a +3. And with like several enchantments, you know. But no. So as you guys are kind of walking down, you see this this shack that has a bunch of tanned leathers out the front that are currently being stretched. Or I guess they'd be scraped leather at this point that are being stretched. And you see some yew branches that are on bending posts. And at the front above the door, there is a sign that is actually held up. The support for the sign is actually shaped like a bow, and the sign says "Samasi, Bowyer at large."
We'll see how large this elf is.
So yeah, you enter and you see a somewhat bored-looking wood elf, kind of sitting behind the counter. He's kind of leaning on his hand. And he looks up and goes, "Oh, excellent customers! How can I help you?"
You look a little bored.
Business isn't too exciting today. Nothing too thrilling.
I'm looking for a composite longbow.
A composite longbow? Certainly help you with that.
Especially one that's, let's say, masterworked, and I can pull with my strength.
I know what a composite composite.
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, I'd have to work with you to get everything lined up. You know, make sure that you have, make sure that the tension is proper. But I can definitely help you with that.
Well then, let's get at it, and then we can also discuss price.
Yeah. And it would be the same price as a masterwork composite longbow. So composite longbow plus 100 gold. But yeah, he starts like going through like the standard talk. Like he has you take a couple tester bows and pull them. Like option A, option B. You know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Sounds like an optometrist.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it A or B? A
but yeah.
or B?
But yeah, eventually he gets you set up with what you need for your masterwork bow. It's this beautiful single hewn yew branch with hard oak insets, right, to add extra strength to the bow. And the bowstring seems to be made of some of the finest sinew you've ever seen. He's like, you know what? Just for you, I'll throw 20 arrows in. They're pretty good quality. And he just gives you a quiver of 20 arrows, you know. But yeah, it's a really nice looking bow.
Okay. So you're saying cost of the bow plus 100.
Yes.
Excellent.
Cost of the bow plus 100.
I dropped 60 platinum.
Nice. Yeah. He takes the coin, counts it out, opens up what looks to be like a register, and puts the coin in there.
Is he not even a little impressed by someone carrying around that kind of money?
Well, how much is a composite bow?
Composite bow is
500.
Huh?
Is it 500 gold?
Yeah, how much is a composite bow?
For a one with a +4 strength bonus is 500 gold.
Yeah, okay. So he's not that impressed because the person came in and asked for what they were looking for.
True.
And he's been in the business for a while. Like, he's made, like, really nice... I'll tell you one thing. The reason I'm naming these shops is because I'm giving you shops that can make, like... You guys are going to be in town until you're, like, level 5, right? Is, like, the main plan. These are people who can make gear up to, like, level 5 adventurer standards, you know? So they're good at what they do, you know? But, yeah. So, he's like, anybody else happen to have any requests, questions?
Yeah, can I get a masterwork sap?
I mean, you could have gotten that at
No.
both. Yeah. A masterwork sap would just be a blackjack. But yeah, he's like, yeah, I mean, you guys have anything else to do here?
I think we've done our business.
Real quick, let me look.
Bit of Madu and
We have to go rescue a gnome.
Yeah, go ahead. And what were you going to say, James?
I was just looking at this real quick.
Pretty much any ranged weapons he can fashion. Guns, which Adventurer's Handbook 2, I think guns are in Adventurer's Handbook 2, right? Is that correct? Yeah. Though, so to tell you what gadgets mean at Bogre's Forge and Holoist Workshop is that would mean things like guns, alchemical insets, you know, like silvering weapons, or you know, things like that. You know, like all of that, like and adventuring gear. You know.
I think all I'm going to ask for while we're here is a longbow and 20 arrows.
He's like, yeah, I can do that. Throw the arrows in for free. You guys seem like good customers.
I give him 75 gold.
Yay! Sticks it in the cash register and goes, you know what? You guys are all right. And like, he finally like. He probably also, like, noticed Grellin come in. Like, Grellin's a man about town, you know? So he's probably like, Grellin, you picked some good ones this time. He goes, yeah, I don't really have a choice in the matter on this one, but seems I lucked out. And shoots you all a big smile.
Gonna look at Grellin. What does he mean this time?
Oh, the other's done.
He's like, what? I'm part of the Adventurers Guild. I get picked out with other people all the time. That's what it is.
Is it usually this exciting?
Usually most of them are bumblebees, but you guys have broken the mold. Yeah.
All right, I think that's all we need, unless anyone else needs anything.
All right, cool.
No.
So, yeah, we have about another half hour, so we can totally get some more stuff done. Some quest stuff. Hooray!
Yeah, we need to go find.
Shopping episode, here we
I
come.
mean, none of us have weapons.
But yeah, so what's your next?
Does anybody want my old short bow? I'll give it for free.
Nah.
I'm gonna charge us.
Nope, I'm good.
Does anyone want a free thing? No, I'm good.
Nobody wants a free weapon. Like that.
Yeah. I will let you sell that for 50%.
Okay, 15 gold it is.
Hooray! Yeah, and he'll even buy it off you. Not a bad. I can juice it up a little bit. Appreciate the business. Hand you 15 gold. But yeah, so now that we have the minutia out of the way, what's our next stop, folks?
I think we just go wherever we were going before.
I don't think you guys mentioned where you were going.
Oh, like we were
You
going to
were going to
go
the highway.
out west.
Yeah, you were going to the Western Highway, but let me do something real quick for you. You guys probably don't really need to worry about. Well, I'll tell you right now, from the information that you were given, you don't need to worry about Graves Farm, Durand Farm, Massey Farm, or Jameson. Those places were pretty much like, if they went out the Western Highway, pretty much Pool Farm and then these southern farms are going to be the main spots that he could have been going. Yeah. So yeah, what's your next stop?
I guess we'll go to Pool Farm if that's what everyone else wants to do.
Sure.
First one on the route.
Let's see. All right, so you guys start heading out of town, and you're kind of heading through North Town. You know, which it's the outside of town, North Town stuff. It's definitely not walled. You know, like there are some places inside the city, and North Town is kind of the main bulk of populace in this town. So like a lot, well, it's the main bulk of paying populace in this town. The populace that doesn't sneer at the tax man and throw tomatoes at him through the street. So you see guards around. So it's not the safest, but it's also definitely not safe, you know. You go through this kind of middle class town sort of thing until you hit the edge of town and you start seeing the main pride and joy of Beltseam. You see their vineyard, and you see their cotton farms, textile farms, and you also see their great hop farms, right? Pool Farm happens to be a vineyard. So you start to ride through Pool Farm. You mainly see vineyards. You also see a couple of plants.
I suppose I would have
Picked up a what?
Like
I would say not, because you were kept in a barn. So
Okay.
you'd smell barn things, like animals and hay, you know, shit. My favorite. But yeah, no. So you guys kind of start riding through, and you see like the first three farms here are like vineyards, like some olives, corn, and you know, like there's a lot of like crops that you wouldn't normally expect to see with each other, because magic is a thing. Agriculture is a lot easier out here. So yeah. Do you guys just ride up to the farmhouse? You see a couple people around. What's the idea? What are we doing?
how shall we approach?
I don't know, because, like, we can't just blunder in and be like, hey, have you guys seen a gnome?
That's actually the best way to find out who has the gnome. Just gonna be honest.
That's a fair point. That could be a very good way.
Well, I guess
Pointy.
we'll approach, and Seifel will approach like the nearest farmer or someone who looks like they would actually know things and isn't just like, oh, I just work here.
Well, you see probably like a oh, what do they call the guy who rides around on a horse, like basically the farm manager.
Farmer.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Papa Joe.
Yeah, you see a guy riding, which is basically, I'm making sure
Yeah,
everyone's
I'll
doing their
approach
job.
him.
Okay, you approach, and he's a human. Seems to have like a couple teeth missing. Long brimmed hat, you know, to keep the sun out of his face, and he's wearing slightly nice clothes. He's like, "What you want?"
Hello, we're here looking for a gnome that came through here anywhere from last night to now.
Gnome come here through? Well,
Yes.
I figure ain't seen no gnome come through here, but if you want to ask Ms. Pooh, she can help you.
All right, thank you. Where is Miss Poole, though? Is she in the house?
Yeah, he points you to the farmhouse and goes, she's probably on the porch right now. Go ahead, she's friendly.
All right, thank you, mister.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys start heading up to the the pool farmhouse, and you You head up to the pool farmhouse, and you see kind of an older lady sipping tea out of a teacup. As you approach, yeah, do you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'll approach her and be like, "Hello."
Hello.
My name is Syphovetamine.
Pleasure to meet you, Syphovetamine. My name
Does-
is Clarissa Poole.
Does she know who the Vetamanes are?
Actually, yeah, she goes, yeah, because she's part of higher society, I'd say. I mean, if she owns a farm, she's at least making money. Now, how much of that money is back in the farm, that's another question. But she knows rich people. So she'd be like, a Venomane. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Clarissa Poole, owner of this farm. And she reaches out to daintily shake your hand.
I take her hand and I kiss the top of it.
Oh, yeah, perfect. And she's like, she, takes that as like, yes, this is the accord, sort of thing. It's like, how can I help you, Mr. Venomane?
Well, Madam Poole, we were actually here looking for a friend of ours, a gnome. He should have come through here either sometime last night or early this morning.
Well, a gnome, I'm not quite sure if I've seen a gnome come through here recently. Occasionally we get the odd gnome trying to sell us farming equipment, and usually that's fine. But I don't think I've seen one recently. Oh, there was a gnome last week who came here. Hello?
Could you describe them? Did you get a name?
Oh, I don't remember his name, I'm sorry, but he was a short, fat man. He was trying to sell us some sort of automaton horse. I thought it was rather hogwash.
Well, not to frighten you, madam, but our friend may be in danger.
Oh dear, I'm sorry to hear that. I wish I could help you more, but I haven't seen a gnome come through here since, well,
Would you mind if we took a look around the farm?
She kind of like steps back a little bit and gets a little guard and says, "My word, not enough."
I'm gonna search the fuck out of that motive.
Okay, go ahead and
That was sus.
Yeah.
Well, you just lady.
Search motive.
We're all with him, correct?
Fuck.
Yeah, you are with him. Seifel,
Okay,
that
can we
seems-
try that?
Yeah, you can do that. Seifel, to you, that seems suspicious as hell.
Yeah, I probably just like quirk my brow.
Alright. Well, that's odd, but you got a 26. Hadra, and Heracles, I'll tell you, Heracles, this lady's offended that you just, was like, hey, can I, hey, have you seen a gnome? No. Prove it. You know what I mean? Hadra, you've seen that you've had experience with this, because foreigners have come to your and basically insisted on looking around. I mean, this lady's doing her own thing, and she owns a farm, which most people who own businesses like this are not in it simply, or they're not, they like the privacy, you know?
Just checking it out.
Yeah, I got you. But yeah, so like Hadra, this is a totally reasonable reaction from her to basically being like, hey, can I search your farm? That's like a pretty like weird fucking thing to ask.
Well, is anyone going to...
I just assume that she's a...
Mm-hmm.
I think we're done.
Yeah, I'll tap Siphon's like, I don't think she's lying.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, yeah, no, she doesn't. She hasn't seen any.
Apologies, madam. We're just very worried for our friend.
I completely understand, Mr. Vetamane. You have a wonderful day. It's a shame I can't invite you in for, and it's about 12th bell anyway. You've been around nobility a lot, haven't you, Seifel?
Yeah, but I've always been kind of the shunned one.
Yeah, she's totally doing that thing where she's like, it's a shame I can't invite you to lunch.
Get
Also
the
known
fuck.
as, hey, fuck off, you're not gonna get any. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just like do a courteous bow, and I'm like, oh, I understand. Stop by our country house sometime, and we'll see to your or we will make sure that you are fed if you stop by. I worded in such a way that's kind of like, hey, fuck you.
I get that you don't eat. Oh, okay, it's fine.
Yeah, it's like, that's fine. If we're nicer than you, so fuck off.
Yeah. She shoots you a kind of wry smile, and maybe like Grelin walks up with like a handful of grapes and pops one in his mouth. Like,
I just
we
look up
leaving?
and I'm like, Grelin.
What? They got thousands of them. And like he looks up and he's like, oh, sorry, madam. That's quite all right. You're right. We do thousands of them. He goes, oh, sweet. And he pops another fucking grape in his mouth.
Assuming that my compatriot has nice things to say about your grapes, I will see if we can come to a familial arrangement.
That would be wonderful. And as you guys are walking away, she was a bitch, wasn't she? And like just pops another grape in his mouth.
I like hop up, like jump to bop him on the head.
Oh, he hands you a couple. Yeah. They're pretty good wine grapes. I mean, they're really sour because they're wine grapes, but they're pretty good.
Heracles is gonna say, "Well, be word or no, she's this is her turf, not ours."
Yeah, Seifel takes out their map and crosses it off.
Right. Yeah. So, what's your next stop?
Which one is the most remote? Sorry.
That'd be Snyder Farm, wouldn't it?
Actually, no. The most remote would be Jennings Farm.
That's a good idea. Does Heracles like voice that opinion out loud? Like, let's go to the most remote one.
Maybe they want to get as far away from the city as possible.
That's not a bad idea. What do you guys think?
Worth a shot.
Probably a smart idea.
Yeah. So you guys are gonna head out to Jennings Farm?
Yep.
Okay.
Get on the cart. Get our goats a moving.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're not really goats, but
Yeah, I get what you're referencing. But yeah, as you guys start to drive out to Jennings Farm, the road gets rougher because it's not directly off the highway, it's behind another farm. You start going between the fences, you see farmhands on either side, and as you approach Jennings Farm, you see that they have a massive textile field. Looks like they're growing what's known as cloth moss, which is basically like you grow it on flat stone that you like set into the ground, and it makes a great weaved material. It's something that they borrow actually. And then they also are growing cotton, and they have silk trees. Again, climates do not really matter here because magic. Yeah, and if you own a farm outside of Beltsine, you can afford a wizard to come do spells.
so basically what you're saying is climate doesn't matter because anime bullshit.
No, not anime bullshit. Fantasy.
I just need to get you with bullshit.
Well, we still haven't. I don't think there's been any anime bullshit.
I don't know.
I don't really do anime.
It'll happen.
Shit. If you want to call it Lovecraftian bullshit, I do that shit all the time. Or just absurdist bullshit. Time cube. Time cube. The bowls, time cube, all sorts of shit. Anyway,
we've all got our bullshit. We're all bullshit
highway.
Now.
Yeah.
I'm salty as fuck.
But yeah, so you approach Jennings Farm, and you see that like Jennings Farm, it doesn't appear that it's directly in season. There's not really a lot of workers out right now. Mm-hmm. You can see the farmhouse though. Big old austere looking building.
Does it look like someone's there?
I mean, does any building at a distance look like someone there?
Well, like if there were lights or if there was like obvious motion.
midday.
This is
and
a
you're-
farmhouse. This is light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably don't have electricity.
Yeah. Or
It
gas lamps.
exists.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
I mean any of that. It exists,
Yeah.
just not here.
Yeah, exactly. You're proper in the boonies at this point. If cell phones were a thing, you'd have like one maybe.
Oh, so my house.
Yeah.
Proper in the boonies.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. So what's the plan, guys?
Well, Hercules, this was your idea.
Oh, gods and Hercules.
Fine.
Yeah.
Hey, he's got face. He's got
yeah,
face.
he does.
He's a paladin. They have charisma.
So first of all, as you step into this approaching, Heracles, you detect evil first and foremost.
If we
Wow.
found it, boys.
I'm gonna put hands up and say, all right. My spidey senses are tingling. No, I'm not gonna say that. I smell danger afoot. And
Yeah.
I'm going to draw a weapon. And, where exactly is that evil coming?
Kind of all around. Kind of just like a lingering. I mean, the house is definitely evil, but like the farm itself just has like
Is it like
evil.
desecrated?
Yeah, that'd be a good way to put it. Is the land seems to have some sort of evil warding about it.
No, that's what I think.
Yeah.
That's
A great evil has been here. Well, recently.
Yeah,
At least it feels
recently,
that
indeed.
way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like within the last day, an evil has been probably just about everywhere around this farm.
Did Ansip set off his spidey senses?
No, because he wasn't an arcane evil. Like you could easily tell. Like if you had detect alignment, right? If you had done detect alignment, you could tell he was evil. But like he's not an arcane evil. This is an arcane evil, like a divine evil. That's why he can
That's
sense it.
worrisome.
This may be what we're looking for.
Would anybody, by the way, like to make a local check while I use the restroom real quick?
Yes.
A what check?
Be right back.
I can do any knowledge check.
Knowledge local.
Oh, actually, I can do that, yes.
Oh, I got low.
Oh, come on.
Oh, wait. You
The
got
random
Well,
number
look,
generator doesn't like us.
It always doesn't.
The dice are just not in our favor.
Jesus.
Oh, well.
Are just not local. So hard to-
Well, that's where I'm looking. I'm like, I thought I swore maybe that's another character.
You're not even
No,
local.
I have knowledge religion, and that doesn't even give me anything because I
literally
don't
local.
have any intelligence.
Yeah, I've got a high enough intelligence just so that I can cast my spells.
Well, this is interesting.
Very interesting. But stupid.
Could start talking in celestial, see if anyone pays attention.
Hey, that
guy's talking good boy
language. Kill him.
Could talk in draconic.
I know Elvish, Draconic, Dwarven, and
Does anybody know Abyssal?
nope. That's a paladin kind of.
I know common, feline, elven, orcish, dwarven.
Yeah, 3.5 is pretty strict, I think, on what you base on class or race.
Yeah, it's not like 5th edition where it's like everyone fucking knows Abyssal,
Yeah,
lol.
Anyone, it can be whatever. No, 3.5 is like only paladins would really know us. So Abyssal. We all got crap.
Let's see here.
We did not do good.
Yeah.
Okay. So, here's what you guys. I already figured out what this knowledge check is while I was off. You guys know the rumor of this place is that the Jennings farm cursed. That's the general rumor. You know, like how like people will be like. You'll be like talking, and then you'll be like, something Jennings farm, and inevitably the thing that conversation is, have you heard that place? You know. The other thing that you know about them is that they order a lot of livestock, like goats and cows. They order a
Blood
lot of it.
sacrifices.
And then the third thing that you guys know about them is that they sell their textiles, but like they shouldn't be turning a profit because they're selling these textiles at like super low prices. Like it's been like an issue in town like for the last like 2 years that like the Merchants Guild is trying to get like the Jennings farm to sell at a higher price, and they're just like, well, I do have the right to sell at a lower price. I'll even pay the higher price tax.
That's kind of suspicious.
Yeah. So you
The paladin.
the paladin. Okay.
We're all getting behind him. He can detect the secret.
So yeah. As
All
you
right.
approach,
Well, yeah, just kind of draw a weapon and slowly make my way.
all right. As you approach the house, you see that there is a large farm. It is painted like a pretty standard farmhouse, but the weird thing about it is it looks like it has 3 stories, or like 4 stories rather, which is like pretty tall for a farmhouse. You know, it's a big farmhouse. Looks like it also has like a basement too. And then you notice there is a barn off to the side. Of course, all farms have a barn. I just figured I'd give you the layout. And then you can't see it, but around back there appears to be a fenced-off yard. Yeah. It is, at this point, you've traveled about 30 minutes to get to Jennings. So we'll say it's about 1 first bell.
Running out of time.
Yeah.
I know. Just keep your eyes peeled. We don't want to get caught.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Running out of time, Colonel.
So how are we approaching?
Well, it sounds like everyone's
I
voted.
know what to do.
It sounds like everyone's voted Heracles to be first.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I can do the lay on hands thing now.
Well, I offer the whole, hey, I'll just approach as a cat.
Okay.
There's a moment where he's like, that went so badly last time, but I don't care.
You said there's like.
Wait, didn't you get stabbed the last time you did that?
Yeah.
What was your question, Daniel?
How close are we to the house right now?
We'll say you're like 100 feet away or something. You can get closer.
Are there trees and stuff?
There's a row of trees in the front, but this very much has the early Midwest design document of we haven't had a dust bowl, so we just don't need trees. So yeah, I mean there's some decorative trees and maybe a couple rakes, but there's not like a forest around.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Can I actually hide behind a tree?
You could, yeah. Make me a hide check.
I have not rolled above like an all session.
That's unfortunate.
It's still not bad.
Seifel, what are you doing?
I'm gonna turn into a cat and I'm gonna approach the house, just sauntering about like I'm a farm cat looking for a mouse.
Yeah, sure.
I'm hiding while there's a paladin plate armor right next to me, but you know.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, do you approach the house, Heracles?
Not if there's a cat going near.
Yeah, we're gonna let the cat go. I just wanted to step into the shadows.
Yeah, we'll say that maybe you hide poorly hide behind cotton or something, or like a silk tree. I guess there are silk trees here.
Play Children of the Silk Tree.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll go ahead and have Seifel. Seifel, you are approaching the house. What are you doing?
I'm looking around for, like, is anybody outside? Is there any sign that people, I mean, obviously people have been here, but like, I'm just trying to get a general lay of things before I decide where to go.
There appear to be some people inside. Outside, there's a couple people, like, outside the house, but, like, not very far away. Like, maybe they're working, like, patching up part of the barn or something, you know, straightening some fence.
You said there's a barn? You said there's a barn?
Yeah, there's a barn.
There's every place.
Well, I don't want to go in the house. That just seems like a bad idea. I'm going to approach the barn.
Okay.
Plus, that seems like the most cat thing to do because that's generally where a farm cat stays.
Mm-hmm. Hadra, there are no animals near you except for... Actually, no. This place has a weird lack of animals. Like, normally you'd find, like, there's, like, squirrels or something. You know, like, there's rats running around. This place, or at least birds. This place, it doesn't even see that birds cloud the sky.
So basically, if we had had a druid in the party, they'd be having a conniption right now.
Yeah. They'd be like, this ain't it, chief.
Trees!
Yeah. So you approach the barn. And the barn doesn't seem super well maintained. There's like a hole that you could probably enter through. But like right by that hole, there are two guys who are like real big, lumbering looking humans, who are like just working on sawing some wood.
Well, I'm gonna just try and slip by.
Make me a
I'm looking what that is.
Yeah.
Because I'm tiny, I don't know what that... Oh, +8.
Yeah, so make me a hide check.
On
I'm
top
not
of
going to
the...
make you move a move silently, because I'm assuming a standard move silent is good enough to trick these guys.
I'm putting it to
listening out.
+10 because I'm technically not wearing armor.
So you don't have your armor check on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not like I'm bullshitting.
Yeah. Hide check 26. Yeah, that's fine. You approach the you start the barn, and maybe like you're like sneaking up to this area, and then you just like, you're like, what? It's like, shoot, sort of thing.
Someone sneezing.
Like, yeah, and you're like, whew, that was close. But yeah, you start to like sneak in, and you get into this barn, and the first thing that strikes you is that this barn smells just like old. It smells like old blood.
Oh God.
Yeah, and it like the ground is covered in hay. There's a couple animals in here, but they look just like sallow and thin. But yeah, inside this barn, you see some standard barn implements and some weird, really like esoteric looking farming tools. You wouldn't really know much about farming. These things seem really pointy. You know, like all of their tools seem like really kind of like weird. You know, you can't put your finger on it though.
Weird,
I'd
like
allow a
covered in
knowledge-
blood
I-
weird.
Not covered in blood weird. I'd allow a knowledge engineering check to kind of identify what's off about these things.
Alright, I do have that. I have every knowledge.
Yeah, I know everything.
17's not.
Yeah, 17 is not bad. We'll say that maybe like the thing that tips you off is like you see the hoe, right? And you look at it, and normally it's supposed to be just like a bent semicircle, right? But the weird thing is like there's like two prongs come off the side. Like I don't know what those would be pretty ineffective on like a tool that's meant to like bring up earth. Or maybe like you see a pitchfork, and maybe the pitchfork has like a lot of prongs, but it's not very wide. Like a pitchfork should be pretty wide to gather as much as it can, but it's got like 10 prongs, but it's only like a foot across, you know, shit like that. Where like these tools seem, there's just something off about them. They seem more dangerous than they need to be, and less.
Other than the animals, does it seem like anyone's here?
Not at the moment, you can tell. I mean, make me a spot check.
Where is it? So many skills.
I mean, it's alphabeticals.
Let's see. 18? That's not bad. You're kind of like looking around. You notice there's a
There's what?
you-
You're cutting
there's-
out.
You notice that there's a loft that you haven't been able to check out. And then you also notice, and let me get closer to the microphone, sorry. And then you also notice that there appears to be some sort of hatch, but it's got a lock on.
Hmm. Is there any way that I could climb up into the loft?
Yeah, sure.
Cat.
You're a cat. You can get anywhere.
All right, I'll make my way up there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ladder, so, you know, maybe not exactly meant for cats, but good enough, you know. So yeah, you get up into the loft, and you see that, of course, it's got the barn doors at the top and the like big support that's meant for pulleying hay up to the loft. You also notice that in the corner of the loft there appears to be some sort of case that is also locked, but it's like some sort of it looks like a weapon case, maybe.
Well, I think that's about all I can do right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try and make my way back out.
Okay. While you're doing that,
Oh no.
we'll cut back to the rest of the party, and someone on a horse starts to ride from the from like behind the house over up to you. And the person that rides out, they have like this really pale skin. They're not a pale human, but they have this really pale skin. Like they don't have the determinate milky white eyes, right? They've got like kind of like jaundiced looking eyes, you know. And they look very frail.
You know, he keeps looking at me as he's describing this as if he's getting his ideas off.
Oh no, I'm seeing him react to what I'm saying, and I'm like, oh, I'm watching him react. It's an absent-minded thing.
Is it as pale as I am? Like he's describing
No,
me?
way more pale. And like maybe he's got like a bruise on his cheek.
Was it like an old person bruise?
No, it's like dark purple and it's got like yellow tinges on the end. Like that's how fucking pale his skin is, you know?
Yeah, it's like an
Yeah,
old
he
person,
got
like,
punched.
It's over exaggerated.
Yeah.
That's no good.
Old people, you can like tap them and they just big time.
Yeah. Yeah, he rides out. The weird thing about this is, looks really sickly, but he should be at an age where he's pretty healthy. He can't be a day over like 19, you know? He rides out and he's like, can I help you?
I'm not sure if Heracles should still be doing his.
Oh, and this dude
can't see me.
reeks of evil.
Kill him.
Yes. Well, oh, my weapon's drawn, aren't I?
Yeah, your weapon's drawn, and he kind of is keeping a healthy distance.
How much is a distance is healthy?
Like 50 feet.
Oh, okay. Is someone gonna shoot him already?
I mean,
No, no,
so
let's see
just get that new
attacks.
bow.
Hi. My name is Steve.
Your name is what?
My name is Steve.
Steve! See that bluff
Steve.
check.
Yeah, let's see that bluff check.
That sounds like a 2. Rolls now.
It works.
Yeah.
At 20.
Yes, Steve. Steve Smith.
You gotta roll a bluff check. We gotta
I
see
know,
what
I
kind
know.
of-
2 seconds. I can actually bluff not too bad.
Yeah.
a
Nice.
paladin?
That is a
Steve,
19.
Steve Smithson, son of Steve.
He goes,
No, that's-
pleasure to meet you, Steve. Is there a particular reason you found yourself on Jennings' farm today without a weapon or with a weapon drawn?
What is remind me the name of the guy we've been screwed over by like 15.
Anson,
Anson.
And-
Yes,
Anson.
And
with a P at the end.
oh, and sip.
yes, I was told by Ansip that there might be some work for me up here, and I'm going to sheath the weapon as I do. Sorry, it's so empty out here. I'm not used to being outside. The
Make
walls,
me a
of course.
Make me a sense motive check. And by the way, every time you say a word, is staring at your mouth, not at your eye. Like it's just one of those things where he's like looking at you and kind of cocking his head a little bit.
He's wondering what that mouth do.
Shit.
Wouldn't he like to know?
Yeah, he goes, ain't no Ansip around here, friend. And he's being honest. Doesn't fucking know who Ansip is, it seems.
We just stumbled across an entire different plot.
And he's like, I don't see any I don't know any Ansip around here. If someone sent you out for work, though, you can talk to my pa.
Your pa? That sounds right.
That sounds
That's not what he says. That's not what he says. Sorry. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
yeah.
It's late here. It says.
Oh.
Just a second. Just realized something. There you go.
It's like losing his words.
Yeah.
There's too much evil.
That would be nice. Been looking for work. It's well, gotta pay the bills somehow.
Yeah. Let's see here. He says, let me take you to the front. And
Of course.
he starts leading you forward. One other thing you notice with that sense motive, this kid has like a weird way of choosing his words carefully. Like, usually young people are a lot less like, I'm going to say exactly what I want to. This kid almost feels like he's being read a script. You know what I mean? But yeah, he leads you up to the front house, all of you, aside from Seifel. Seifel, as you're exiting the barn, you see that everyone is being led by someone on a horse.
I'll follow them as a cat for now.
Yeah, okay.
I just approach, like, I wander up to Johann and I, like, do that cat thing where I arc my back and do the circle 8 around his legs.
Yeah, this kid turns around, says, how'd that cat get here?
Oh.
Never mind.
It's probably just a cat.
I reached down to pick Seifel up.
Yeah. And he keeps leading you to the front of the house.
His response to a cat.
Yeah, and this house has like a big awning. You know what I mean? Like very, very like just heavy shade over the front. And he comes up to the front door. He opens the door and he says, "Pa," and about like maybe a minute later, you see just this big fat man who looks very not well come down. He says, but he's got like this kind of what can I do for you, fellows? Sort of thing. Like seems pretty normal, other than like his appearance, which is pretty rank.
Is he evil?
Yes. Oh, this dude's totally divine.
Okay.
Like
These aren't 3.5 vampires, are they?
I'm not gonna tell you what they are.
They're
I know.
vampires.
I'm just like they're 3.5 vampires. God.
He smiles. He doesn't have fangs. That's one thing to mention. He says, "What can I do for you, gentlemen?"
Yes. Ansip sent us. Do you recognize that name? He told us that there might be some work out here.
Says, "Well, I've heard of Ansip, but if you're working for him, you've come to the wrong farm."
What?
And
Maybe I got my names wronged. Sense mode.
Yeah, go for a sense motive.
Oh.
All right. Heracles.
It's a crit fail.
Okay. So you do get something good at it. You can tell this dude is eyeballing you hard, and that's all you can focus on. Like, this dude is like, it looks like he's seeing right through you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Hadra,
thank you, guys.
yeah, Hadra, this dude knows that he's talking plainly. He knows who Ansip is, and he clearly has a distaste for that name. You know, he clearly is not a fan of what implications Ansip might bring.
Guys, I think I was right. We stumbled onto a whole nother plot line. We need to leave.
He's
I'm
like,
sorry. Maybe he meant another farm.
he must have meant another farm. This is
Do
not he's like, this is not a farm that friends of Ansip would be welcome. And it doesn't take a sense motive check. That's a threat. Like, this dude's very clearly like, get the fuck
Yeah,
off
it
my
is
land.
basically like F off.
Yeah.
And that's where. So he's probably. So we've been to which farm so far? This is the Jennings farm, and
This
we've
is
also
Jennings,
been to
and you've been to
Pool.
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 Mhm.
Okay. So
Yeah,
he's gonna
so-
say, all right, maybe he meant the Schneider. He's playing oblivious at this point.
Yeah.
Or perhaps no, maybe it was the I'm trying to remember. I'm sorry, I'm all mixed up. Do you happen
Clearly.
trying to think?
He's like, do you know what farm? Make me a diplomacy check. It's gonna be a hard one, but a diplomacy check is not a bad idea. Insightful. With your sense motive, you notice that he looks real hard at Herr, and then he like turns his gaze to you for a second, and then he turns it right back to Herr.
Oh, he knows.
So that's a pretty good diplomacy check. That's good enough. He goes, I don't know anyone who'd willingly work with me around here, but I think your best bet probably going to be Adkins. They sit right outside the castle, but they get all the shit poured on them, so I'm sure that any kind of money would be good money for them. He clearly has a distaste for the Adkins farm as well.
Right. Huh. Well, maybe he did say Adkins. All right. I'm sorry to bother you. I guess we'll be going now. Apologies for the
And he nods and says, what would be something sufficiently ominous for him to say? Oh, he'd just say, have a great day. Hopefully we don't have to bump in paths again.
I don't know. I feel like something like, hey, if you ever want to come back, we'll have you for dinner.
Ha 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 ha.
Don't expect nothing
Nah.
for free.
Yeah, exactly. But no, he says, hopefully we don't have to bump paths again. Have a great day. And he just walks back into his house. The boy stays outside, though.
All right, I'm gonna do an about face and just say, all right, I had the wrong farm, guys. Let's go.
Just like parade march out
Yeah.
very fast.
So, and we'll cut. We'll say that that whole interaction plus getting you to Adkins Farm will take another hour. So we will start. Let me leave a bookmark at second bell.
Like as soon as we're out of earshot. I mean, I assume we're out of earshot. If it's not
Yeah.
human, I mean, can't help that. But I'm gonna say, okay, so much evil. I suggest let's deal with this now and come back to this later.
Yeah.
I'm just
We'll
staying in
shelve
Johan's
this.
arms.
Yeah.
We'll table this topic until
and-
further notice.
And as you leave, the hairs on the back of your necks, all of them, start to kind of calm down. You stop getting kind of bumps you were getting as you entered, and you all feel like you could breathe a little bit easier. And we'll cut here for the night. We'll say that you're on transit Adkins Farm. So, we'll get an in-credit scene here. We'll have it'll be back at nighttime, right? And we'll see in the barn, similar to the time we left last time. We see this barn and we see the gnome tied up. We see Dreamweaver full faced at this point. She's not like the whole mysterious behind the desk thing. We've seen her face before. Perfectly symmetrical, milky white-eyed, beautiful other than the eyes. That's your thing, you know. Pale elf. God damn it. I don't need Yoda noises. God damn it. But we hear, so, if I understand my lieutenant correctly, you still happen to have 24 hours. That is certainly a problem for me. But, whatever the case, we are folks of our word. You can give me a little bit of information. And, like, she pulls out a, pulls out a throwing knife from, like, inside of her jacket. And she throws it, and it swings right past his head and goes, I have very accurate aim. And I also have many questions. Who sent you? And what? Or who sent you? And where did they get this? He goes, I swear, I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know. And then we see, we like still see just a still image of him as he's rocking around in the chair. And then we see from off screen, this fucking dagger, or this throwing knife, thwack, right into his knee with sickening thud, or with this sickening strike. He like leans back, I don't know. Don't worry. We can do this all night. I'm wanting to target practice anyway. Where did you find it? And like, we see her throw the dagger this time, and we hear from off screen, whack! And he's like, okay, I'll tell you what I know. And then we'll cut there.
It was Martin. Oh shit.
No, so let's sign off. Start with our local resident, Brian.
Local what?
Wait,
Resident.
I'm really confused because it's like the.
You're our resident Brian.
Oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
the token Brian, hey?
Yeah, you're the token Brian.
And
There
the
we
token
go.
Canadian.
And the token Canadian.
Is that too? Yes. Yes. And on behalf of Paradise Theater, I apologize for these guys and their antics. Oh, how typically Canadian. Anyway, I am Brian. I am playing Hadra, a Johnny Genie. Yeah, Johnny Genie, who is just loving up her new bow, but just don't know when to use it. It's like the last time she used a weapon and did what she thought was right, she got in trouble. So we'll have to wait and see.
Really?
I did not shoot the vampires. That would have been very good.
Oh, I think they were worse than vampires. This is Mike we're talking about.
Necromancers.
But
Vampire
also,
wolves.
but you can also
Were sharks.
find me on this Saturday playing a gnome wizard in our first one-off of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. We'll see how that goes. I have yet named her, so it is what it is. It's a gnome wizard. On Monday, you can find me playing Lisi, a Strix soldier in Fire Strike. And on Tuesdays, I'm playing, at the moment, Sakura, the fun boomerang-wielding, pink-haired halfling. And I must have been asleep. Did we fight the hags?
No.
Not yet.
No.
No, okay, so we're coming up. Okay, so then I am right.
We absolutely.
We're coming up. We're coming up to the hag
They
fight.
murdered the fuck out of an ogre, though.
Poor ogre.
Big agree.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. So on to the next person.
Yeah, let's go for Daniel next.
What up? SassyMcNasty. I play Johan, the rogue who has poor. It's coming through. I can hear myself. A rogue with poor material concept of things, but loves books, and he's definitely carrying around something he probably shouldn't. And for someone who's friends with everyone he meets, is not a friend of that farmhand or farmman. Yeah, you can catch me on this Saturday for the Pathfinder 2 one shot. I can actually be there. I'm excited. I'll be playing Hammer, who is a dwarven monk who hammers everything, including anvils, because she's a forged dwarf with her legs.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
And then I'll be running Spark of Fate directly after that, so where I have some fun stuff planned. So hopefully everyone can make it. Mondays I'm on the Fire Strike as Tavis, the diplomat turning envoy who is trying to hold the remaining crew together to find the captain, because it is a stressful job. And on Tuesdays, Susano, the Ranger with the Snake, also holding the crew together, but morally, hey guys, let's not kill everything.
Yeah.
Maybe we can befriend the hags. But yeah, that's me. Next.
Maybe we can befriend the hags, he says.
Ogre lives matter.
Yeah, sick. Next we'll do Gunner.
Hey guys, Heracles is very tired right now, and I'm more than a little scared at whatever hidden house of horrors Michael has set up in the Jennings farm. But I'm assuming that's for hopefully level 5 characters, not level 2 characters. My name is Cyrus Smith. Currently, I'm away, so most of my stuff is going to be limited, but I'm still going to be here when I can on Stramdex. You can also catch me on Realms of Refuge, most likely. And I think I'm going to be taking a break from some of the Saturday one-shots, but if we do Spark of Fate, which I believe it is this Saturday, I'm going to do my best to be there.
Yes.
So, that's it.
Woo! All right, and then let's hit our final person here. Hey, James. James, take it away.
Hi ho, friendolos. My name is James, also known as Knightheart, and you have caught me today playing Seifel, the adorable little cat man who is just so happy. He got to meet Martin of Martin Mart fame. He got to buy a magic item. He has a named weapon, even if it's just a +1, but hey, he's gonna fucking pour money into it to keep it relevant throughout the campaign. Yeah, he's just a good boy. You can also catch me here Saturday, where I will be running the Pathfinder one-shot called Inheritors, Here Will Remain. It's going to be fantabulous fun. We've got a Barbie, we got a monkey, and we got a Wazard. It's going to be fantabulous.
Hell yeah.
And I will also be in a Spark of Fate where I play Marin Farcaller, the boring human in the party, who is totally not a pawn from Dragon's Dogma, no matter how many random factoids he spits out or how much he hates harpies. You can catch me here on Mondays, where I'm also playing as Le Sorval, the former C-pop star with the former Heart of Gold, now a necrographed black heart of evil. Although he's not really evil, but he's morally gray. As he goes around and is just trying to liberate people from the filthy corporation's communist style. And you can also catch me on Tuesday, where I get to DM Realms of Refuge, a 5th edition campaign, probably one of my favorite nights of the week, because I love my little band of miscreants as they go around killing ogres who are just cooking meals. And boggles. Lots and lots of boggles. Boggle.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So many boggles, you'd think he's Peggy Hill, champion of art. All right. And I guess that leads that to me, James?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if you had finished or not. Hello, everybody. My name is Michael. Catch me on Mondays, where I get to play the lovely and fantastic the mean old rat boy doing mean old dirty rat boy stuff. You know, he's getting all sick and nasty on it. Hi. You can also call. You can also catch me. You can't call me. I'm not giving out my phone number. Don't you even start. You can catch me on Tuesdays where I'm playing Tif to Libre, someone who is finally finding that dungeons might actually be in her element. Fucking weirdly enough. She doesn't have to think about ethics in a dungeon. She just deal with it.
Blow shit up.
Yeah. And she's a sweet cinnamon bun who needs to be protected. Hi. You can also catch me on Thursdays, like today, running Legacy of Stramdex, which currently the party is going through, well, you just saw, some interesting locations. And just to let you guys know, Jennings Farm is what we call a side quest for later on. Don't worry, this is a special tool that'll help us later on.
That ain't no fucking side quest.
You gotta get levels.
Demons.
Okay, let's see here. And then on this Saturday, you'll catch me twice in one night. Catch me first of all as Wolfgang Strongbranger, the Terror of the North, a barbarian in Pathfinder 2.0 who turns into a motherfucking weir-shark. How fucking cool is that shit? You can also catch me on Saturday playing in Spark of Fate, where I'm playing the frogman, who's kind of just over it, but also still a little bit insane, just in a much more muted way. He loves growing mushrooms everywhere. And you can finally catch me on Saturday nights where we are playing Justice Grab Bag.
Oh, yeah.
Where I will be playing either Beef or Eastern Bloc. So yeah, you can catch me on those. Catch me on SoundCloud under SoundCloud.com/thathoon, all caps that hoon, THATHOON. And I think aside, well, you know what? I'll also give you guys your experience points for the night. Everybody, you did a fantastic job role-playing even the minutia of shopping, which was really fun. Everybody give yourself an extra 300 XP points. Experience points. And you know what? For that, I think it will do it. I think that all of us here at Paradise Theater, let's all give a big old-fashioned R.I.P. Herren.
R.I.P.